coming through.
Everybody gone? They get through to him?
No, Ratigan, I think Ratigan is next week because him saying we still do some things.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
All right. So okay, we are good.
Yep.
Well, people, welcome to the Mystic Sensation vibes. Oh, I'm not seeing my intro playing. Are you hearing me loud and clear, Spinks?
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
hearing you loud and clearly.
People in the chat, are you hearing me loud and clear? Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Someone type yes if they are hearing me loud and clear. Yep. Okay. Zolkan said yep. Freedom said yes. All right. Let me just go through and bless up my peeps them as usual. People, if you notice, I'm giving you a side view. I don't want anyone to take it as a disrespect. It is not a disrespect. It's just because I have done a tooth extraction. If you notice, I'm talking with a little hair space, right? As a result of my extraction. I know say Father God no like ugly. Somebody give you a side camera, right? Because Father God no like ugly. Because of me tooth extraction. So let me explain the side view camera that I've been given. And anyway, big up to Rosa, Patel, Cruikshank, Carla Ibanks, Ibane Coleman, Richard Reed, JP, big up yourself. I am Doreen Ilian. Oh, okay, all right. Freedom, yes, Freedom, bless up yourself. Rennie Swaby, Cecile Phillips, Dorat McCoy, Zoli Khan, and Patel Cruikshank, I think I called that already. Dorat McCoy, Yardy Fix, Jennifer Simpson, Angela Cole, big up yourself, Rocky Pinto, Anne Marie's, Millicent Butterfly, movie cap, movie recap. I hope I didn't spoil that. JP, right? Anthony Whitaker, Brandon Nedrick, Egla, right? And the chat is running away, right? So basically, I am not going to be able to get. So all I'm just giving up umbrella. Welcome to all of my supporters, right? Welcome for Mystic Sensation tonight. Okay, Melting Pot is here. Let us put Melting Pot in the space. All right, so tonight, it's going to be right a night of reckoning that will be going through some of the subject matters. We're talking
Mm-hmm.
about, of course, we'll be doing criminals in jacket and tie, right? Jamaica in serious economic bind, a government who claim to care, right? Transition to CCJ, justice for all Jamaicans. Big topic tonight. Sex offenders list needs to be public, right?
Mm-hmm.
Political victimization, introduction, parliamentary committee, Christopher Tufton. All right, Christopher Tufton. So, all right. So as it relates to Parliament today, what I saw in Parliament today, Springs and Melting Pot, give me joy. And let me explain the joy that I have, what I saw in Parliament. I saw the opposition look bossy, with brilliant, right? Educated people. I mean, trust me, they had delivered. As a matter of fact, I think that they have, over delivered right in Parliament. And it goes to show us that this term is going to be the term and determined on the basis of checks and balance. That is what we are going to have for this term, checks and balance. And we can see what exhibited in Parliament today, a very good look. Nikisha Burchell was outstanding, right? Damian Crawford, I mean, trust me, I mean, the integrity boss, Mark Golden, right? Angela Brownberg. I mean, it just come like it's just a presentation of the stars in terms of pursuing for good governance. Without any delay, let me just have Sister Pinks meet and greet, right? Her people as usual. Sister Pinks, go ahead. Oh, hold on, Sister Spinks. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening to everyone in the chat. Thank you, Uncle Byron. Good evening to everyone in the chat and everyone who tuned in tonight. Good evening to Melting Pot. Thank you, Uncle Byron, and to Lady Anne who's off camera. And I would like to say good evening to Comrade Leader, our VPs, Chairman, Chairwoman, our
Yeah.
Gen 6, our 63 candidates, and our 28 who turned up today in Parliament, especially those who are there were there today in Parliament, and to our blood and fire comrades, especially my blood and fire comrades out of Northwestern James. I would like to say condolences to family
Yes.
and friends of the 11 people who was in the shootout at Commodore Linstead, 5 dead, including one child. I would like to say condolences to the people who went through another mass shooting again at 3 were shot at Cockburn Pen, including a 9-year-old child. I want to say condolences to the family and friends of the parents of the young lady, 29 year 29 years old from Barracks Road, Sablamar, whose body was found in a suitcase, and
Wow.
to the family and friends of the 13-year-old girl from Christiana High School student, second form, whose body was found in a burned out refrigerator.
So sad. So
Yeah,
sad.
man. So for the past week, that's what's been happening in Jamaica. Mass shooting and bodies being found of two beautiful young Jamaican women
Mhm. I thought the Prime Minister said
and
crime
and
that he had
children
crime under control.
and chil- yeah, and children being shot in the mass
Oh,
shooting.
okay. All right. So melting pot fell off there. Let us just give him some time before melting pot come back on stream. But and yes, Isaac Buchanan, right? Well done. And that's my brethren. Isaac Buchanan did well in Parliament. Parliament really look really brilliant, and most of all, balance,
Yep.
very balanced. And we are happy to see that as it relates to what's going forward, right? We are going to have checks and balance going forward. And the common leader is there to ensure that the 28 members of parliament, as it relates to the opposition, right, they are going to ensure that. Having said that, let us proceed into our program. When Melton Pot come, I will give him the opportunity to do his thing. Let us get into the first business of the day, my people. Let me just see what we have here. A lot of goodies in store. So let us get into the first business of the day. Right. Now let us look at this, people, and we are going to read. Right. Are you seeing it, Spinks?
Not yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's there now. It's there now.
There now.
The, le-
All right.
the letter from Jess. Yeah, press
Okay.
con-
All
press
right.
release.
Let me just get because I get boasting now, because I get savvy about the system now. When I hand it again, I want the Spinks. Man know them thing now. All right. My peeps, the PNP is concerned about continued leaks of untabled integrity commission reports, calls for immediate action to protect parliamentary integrity. That is so true. Now, Kingston, Jamaica, October 7, 2025, the People's National Party notes with deep concern, because this is quite concerning, the continued pattern of Integrity Commission IC reports being leaked to nationwide news network prior to their official tabling in Parliament as prescribed by law. Well, you know, trust me, you're not going to stop that, because the Jamaica Labour Party is a very indisciplined party. You understand? They know nothing about good governance. Under the Integrity Commission Act, reports are required to be first submitted to Parliament and formally tabled before they are made public. Recurring disclosure of their contents beforehand undermines the authority of Parliament, erodes public confidence in the integrity of the process, and suggests that there is a serious breakdown in official chain of custody. Now, let us talk about the official chain of custody here, right? Let me just start a flament on that. Let me just bring up a melting pot in this space, right? Let me just, okay. Before I bring in melting pot, let us talk about, as it relates to the integrity, you know, of, you know, securing, right, the documents in Parliament. Now, NNN, that a big mama, right, had gotten wind of the information by some means, right, in terms of who received the information. So as a media house, right, yes, he's going to highlight it. He's going to, you know, publicize it, right? Nothing wrong with that where that is concerned, right? However, who need to be disciplined, right, is who definitely is leaking the information to him. Because obviously, him as a media house, him cannot be disciplined to, you know, to leak documents. He's a media house. So there's no law that is going to correlate him. However, as it relates to parliamentary law, SOP in Parliament, those who are leaking the information to Big Mama as it relates to parliamentary rules, right? That body, right, or the oversight committee for that will have to discipline those people, right? Let us put that clear. And that is how it goes. Now, let me just give Melting Pot the opportunity to meet and greet. Melting Pot.
Greetings and blessing once again to everyone tuning in tonight to the Mystic Sensation Live. Bless up to Pink Skew, our regular panelist from the West, you know, and our host, Sir Lord Byron. Yeah, man, to everyone tuning in tonight at the chat, hope you had a blessed Tuesday afternoon and, you know, relax and feel comfortable for taking the Mystic Sensation Live. So, you know, tonight we are going to divulge in a lot of subject matters, you know, as it relates to everything we are going on in the country, you know, and I mean, things are right in the country, so, you know, we have to come and address all of these matters at hand. But without any further ado, I hand back over to the host.
All right. Thank you, Melting Pot, for that. All right. Where are we going from here? Because tonight, you know, believe you me, we don't in no hurry, you know, and I guess that people over here, they're not in any hurry. As a matter of fact, but they're on vacation, no people. I am on vacation. So, but we want to go through all of our document tonight. Now, let us go to the next document, right? Because we are going to get into some interesting stuff. All right. Let me tell you now, I am technically savvy now, you know. So nobody believes, say, all right, certain things can go on again wrong here. So I'm technically savvy. All right. Let us look at this, my Jamaican people. And we are going to discuss certain things. And I have done certain research, right? And I'm going to put it to Christopher Tufton that he's not out of the woods as yet, although the IC did not recommend for him to be charged. But I am going to show something as it relates to Christopher Tufton not out of the woods. Market Me bailout broke ministry admits to not owing Jamaica Moves brand. Let us read into that. Marketing and public relations firm Market Me consulting bailout Ministry of Health and Wellness in fronting a payment to host a meeting because the ministry was broke. You hear that, people? The revelation was made that the ministry published realms of contracts and invoices on its website on Tuesday, a week after controversy raged over whether Dr. Christopher Tufton had exercised ministerial influence in corralling business for Market Me. Tufton has described social media posts alleging a personal relationship with a director of Market Me as vile, filthy, and scandalous. Based on what he's saying, right? Is he saying that he doesn't have that personal relationship, or is he just talking about the scandalous? The scandal. I don't know. Permanent Secretary Dunstan Bryan. Now, this is the guy that I have been targeting over many months. Disclosed to the Gleaner on Tuesday that all told, the ministry spent approximately $300 million in outsourced communication and advertisement placement for the 2019 to 2020 fiscal year. According to a memorandum issued in October 2017, Tufton had requested a meeting with various medical officers to discuss Jamaica moves at the Medallion Hall Hotel. But based on the time of the fiscal year, the ministry said it was short of cash and proposed that Market Me pay the hotel with the intention of reimbursement at a later date. This amounted to $174,577.47. Bryan said that while that arrangement was not standard, he admitted that, was not standard practice, it was not isolated. It is not regular done, but from time to time, depending on the activity, the firm may advance a payment and then ask the ministry to reimburse them. Now, if you notice, based on what Dunstan is saying here, right? The permanent secretaries are responsible, right, for procurement process and make sure that all procurement done properly. But Dunstan is someone that is under my radar, right? And I am going to show you something now, my Jamaican people. Let us put away that for a while and get to a next program. I'm just setting the background before Melting Pot forward. So let us read out what the IC, right, declared how the IC put it. And as a result, in terms of the IC, right, responding to the situation, I done some research and I found something that we are going to now expose, and we are going to ask the government, right, to ensure that this being carried out where Tufton is concerned. And I know that Melting Pot and, of course, Pinks is going to happy for what I'm going to show. Many people, they are going to be happy as well in terms of the research and what I'm going to show, right? A lot of member of parliament, they are not talking about it, but I found it. Now, let us go to this other thing. I'm going to it tonight. All right. Now, it said Tufton IC Mark probe clarified. Let us share that. Now, watch this, people. Tufton IC's Market Me probe clarifies facts. Now, Health Minister Dr. Tufton says he welcomes the conclusion of the Integrity Commission's investigation, which found that while there were several procurement breaches he was not directly involved in the award of contracts to Market Me Consulting Limited. Now let us get into that. The Commission's findings have helped to clarify the facts and put to rest years of speculation, allowing the public to have a clear and accurate understanding of the matter. He said in a statement following the release of report in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, Tufton and Lindsay McDonough, co-managing director of the company, right, failed to declare their friendship, while her company received nearly 80 million across 15 contracts, right, 14 from the Health Ministry and 1 from the National Family Planning Board, according to the report. The contract that triggered the probe involved the award of 15.8 million to Market Me to implement the Jamaica Moves physical fitness campaign to raise awareness about non-communicable disease and encourage Jamaica to adopt healthier lifestyle. The report said that the minister appeared to have advanced a private interest, which resulted in a monetary benefit to Market Me Consulting Limited, and that his introduction of the company and its principles to ministry officials gave rise to, at its lowest, a perceived conflict of interest and thereby contravene the principles of transparency and good governance. Stevenson recommend stronger compliance with procurement and integrity laws, noting that while breaches were identified, evidentiary gaps prevented referral for prosecution. So it is not like that the Integrity Commission, right, chose by their will to just not charging him. There were evidential gaps, and I am going to show you people, right, that the Integrity Commission is correct. I'm going to show you, right, as it relates to the evidentiary gap. Is after I read this, I went on a research and I was surprised in what I found. Now let us hear Tufton here. I'm going to show you what I found, people. I acknowledge full statement from Dr. Christopher Tufton. I acknowledge the release of the Integrity Commission report and welcome its conclusions. This matter has remained in the public domain for several years, and at times has caused and feared doubt not only on my own integrity, but also on the reputations of others involved, including members of the ministry and legitimate contractors. Don't twist it, Tufton. I am going to show the people, right, where you're dead wrong. I regret any hurt or reputational damage that may have resulted from the prolonged public scrutiny, right? I am, however, pleased that the IC has reported no illegality by any party involved. Christopher Tufton, again, you lie. You're coming on and spinning things, right? The IC did not say that they found no illegality, right? I am relieved that the report brings clarity to the facts, not what you're saying here. Let me read it over. I am, however, pleased that the IC has reported no illegality by any party involved, and I am relieved that the report brings clarity to the facts. Let us show you what the IC let us show you what the IC said, Christopher Tufton. Right? Stevenson recommended stronger compliance with procurement and integrity laws. Noting, Mr. Tufton, that while breaches were identified, evidentiary gaps prevented referral from prosecution. So don't spin it, Mr. Tufton. Don't spin it. Don't be lying about here. We are reading the thing, right? Now, let us put away this, and we are going to get into something now, Jamaican people. Before I get into it, just let me explain it. And why, right, I have to, side with the Integrity Commission on this one. Let me just explain it. Based on what I found, we have to challenge parliamentarians, right, to write better laws and policy of checks and balance. Let me talk to Jamaica. My Jamaican people, there is no checks and balance as it relates to where an active member of parliament should not be involving, right, any form of government contracts, the procurement of any government contracts going to him as a member of parliament, right? There is absolutely no penalty in the Constitution for that. And I found it out today. There is no penalty, no laws that existed that, okay, parliamentarians are not to involve in any form of government contracts, procuring process where they are concerned while they are active members in the office. That shouldn't be my Jamaican people. There should be laws that establish clearly that from once you're a member of parliament, right, you should not, as a matter of fact, if you have a business, when you take on the political realm, that business is supposed to be in what we call a blind company, right? It's supposed to be in a blind trust. As a member of parliament, you cannot be awarding contract, right, to yourself being an active member of parliament. There should be a law to punish members of parliament, and I'm surprised as to why there is no law like that to protect taxpayers' money. Now I can understand why Andrew Holness, Juliet Holness, right, one name, Robert Montague, right, Christopher Tufton, running through, you understand, breach of procurement, doing all sorts of things because there is no teeth. Let me show you the evidence, people. Luckily I found it. Let me show you the evidence. Let me show it to you. This is unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. So let me share this with you, my people. Let me share this with you. Right? Let me get into it and share it with you. Let me share that document with you. Okay, let me just cancel that and let me just search Big Top again here. So that was kicked off. Let me see. I don't have to call and wife you again. I can manage my one thing, man. Where do you understand where I take Byron for? Eh? All right. Let me just bring up that. Where did I have it? Let me just resend it back to myself. Can't do everything I know enough people. Understand? Big money in the business now. All right. Okay, so let me just hit start. Bring up that and put it in a new tab here. So, okay. Let me. Okay. All right. So let me share this document now to my Jamaican people. Now, are you seeing the document, Pinks? Spinks, talk to me now.
Get the documents up there now. Yeah, increase the funnel.
All right, let me increase it. Right, but upon this now, you know. See, I have funnel. Me increase it now. Here it is, people. This is what Jamaica people facing. And we are going to speak to Tufton. Section 41 of the Constitution of Jamaica requires a member of parliament to vacate his seat if he or any firm in which he is a partner, manager, or director becomes a party to a government contract. However, every parliamentarian is entitled to seek an exemption from Parliament from the application of Section 41. I can read about that over again. Section 41 of the Constitution of Jamaica requires a member of Parliament to vacate his seat if he or any firm in which he is a partner, manager, or director becomes a party to a government contract, right, where that is concerned. Now, let us take this away and get back. Now, this is now serious, and this is where we are going to speak. We know that you have members of parliament who operating their business, right, and been getting government contract. I am telling the opposition, right, I am going to also speak with some lawyers, that for those members of parliament who involve in that practice need to vacate office. And I mean say that, you know, need to vacate their seat in parliament. People, and I mean say that, you know, the Constitution say that. So then the question, why is it that the Constitution is not being obeyed? Having said that, let me bring in Melting Pot, right, to open the seat for us. Melting Pot.
Yeah, my brother. You know, say a whole heap of flaws in a Jamaica politics.
Yes.
And the flaws where, you know, present itself as something for them guys just go through a open door and then close a window behind them.
Yes.
You understand? Because you can't have parliamentarian, yeah, involved in a business while representing people in politics.
True.
That is a no-go to begin with. Yeah. And so when you give them these type of opportunity, then what we're having right now is a result of that. That's the ramification of
Yes.
there is not any formal law there to stop them once and for all.
Yes.
As I said, there's too many open door and closed window. And so these guys are making a while the sun is shining. So this is why every politician now becomes wealthy beyond what their, you know, salary could offer them in life. They are multi-millionaire, and some of them billionaire. You understand? So
Yes.
we have to get a hold of this situation, you know, once and for all. I mean, the powers that being must rewrite the rules of parliamentarian and how they can, you know, conduct themselves, or how they should conduct themselves.
Agreed.
As it relates to, you know, being a minister, and, you know, you're supposed to look after the taxpayers' money 100%. You're not supposed to participate in a form of contract, neither with yourself or with your cronies. You understand? All contract must be tabled and up for, you know, negotiation. And that's where the transparency now will show itself. And everybody will know how it goes. You understand? Because when you have a contract, you know, and you just carry it out in the dark and show your friend them when night come, but nobody don't know about it until we hear about it. It's wrong. It's supposed to be tendered. You understand? In the classified ads, as what we call the newspaper. So you know, so if you have a contract for some house, it's tendered. And you have the bidders them come in, and everybody know who are the bidders. And people hear about what is the actual going rate for the work.
Yes.
But under the current schemes, that thing, I be a hide and seek business when it comes to contract. And along anyway, who you hear the contract awarded to themselves and them friends. So a lot of people who supposed to be benefiting from these contracts, they are left out in the wilderness.
Yes.
Don't even know about it. You understand? And these things are wrong. This is why we have so many discrepancies with public funds. You know, and in the matter with Tough Tongue now and the Integrity Commission, yeah,
Yes.
is only because at the right to say Byron, there's gap, yeah, within the statement as it relates to, you know, putting things together in a formula. Why him get off so lightly? Because we know him award the contract to him, sweetheart, to market me. We know that for a fact. And as well, Dunstan Bryan said over 300 million spent between 2019 and 2020 for advertisement. Why would you spend over 300 million for an advertisement? When the ministry is in crisis, as it relates to what we see happening in the hospital, you know, the health sector mash up. That 300 million could have buy several ambulance or beds. Why 300 million was spent in a 1 year period for advertisement? That's spooky. You understand? That is very spooky. That after some 300 million, that only want 200 more million for half a billion, you know. So a ramp, Tough Tongue a ramp with the Ministry of Health. And when him chop a lot of money. Yeah? Because beryllium show it. Beryllium show it. The drill show it. Everything what we know about show what go on at the ministry them. No procurement guideline. Yeah? A guy can't do anything where he want to do. And him now get well accountable. And these things have to change. Must have to change. Cannot go on like this, because if you continue like this, then there'll be nothing for the people. Everything will just go to the MP, them and them friend.
Yes.
And at the moment, that's what is happening. These are the only people that is benefiting in society. It's an easy process for them to just get rich overnight.
Exactly.
Because them have the key to the chest, the war chest. Because the war chest, they will just award and sell some contract. That's all. I'm going to start make money. Me have a sweetheart, me just give her $85 million. Yeah, I would not get, country not get nothing for it. Yeah, but me can't get charged. Can't get charged.
But Melting Pot, you know what, again, to start to cut you, just as it relates to what State of Light said. The IC runs around and undermine itself, in my estimation. However,
Definitely.
if there is no law that establish where the IC can use it as a guide to charge these persons, then they can't recommend those charges, because what need to be done, and that's why the IC is saying, you understand they have to come with some more stringent rules and regulation to curb these behaviors. So if you have these, if the IC don't have anything to work with in terms of an established law to say, okay, all right, members of parliament are not allowed, right, while you are in office, to have contract awarded to you, right, and such consequence, you understand, 500,000 or $1 million fine, or 5 months in prison, or what. If you don't have those laws, those guidelines, you understand, so that these people can be disciplined, then what the IC is going to do? The IC can't really do anything. The IC have to follow the laws that establish.
That's why I said there was
Go
gap.
ahead, go ahead, Pat.
Too much gap within it.
Yeah.
You understand? Too much gap. But Tough Tongue them know, on a, more smaller scale. Yeah. As it relates to them being a minister, they're not supposed to award contract to themselves nor them friend. Them know that.
Them know that.
That is, if them don't know anything else, them know that. Because that is a part of the Westminster model, This is why I don't like to hear them say them using the Westminster model. Because these are not within the Westminster model as it relates to parliamentarian, even involved in business while serving. You can't do it using the Westminster model. So I want to know what model them I use down there. It must be the Jamaica Labour Party model. Can't be the Westminster model. You understand?
You're right.
And so these people, as I said, them go through a open door and them close a window. Yeah, because the open door where them go through, is where the people get them, the mandate, elect them. The electorate elect them and put them in there. For them going through that open door there, them just close the window. You don't need to say nothing more. And them just having a field there. Everybody get wealthy in the country, in our state where it never get look after. The people them now get look after. It's on the parliamentarian and them friends from the PSOJ and them cronies them who them use to carry out certain various activity. Only them I get money.
Yeah.
Everybody else a suffer, everybody else step on them knee, a beg, a crawl. While these people is having a wheel of a time with cash on top of cash. Them do anything and get away with it. So a whole heap of things have to change within the constitution to
Exactly.
prevent these type of things from happening. Right? And the powers that mean must address these problems as urgent as possible. I yield back the floor.
Thank you, Milton Pot. Wonderful. All right. Let us bring Lady Spinks in the house. All right.
Yes, Uncle Byron. Let us start with the leaks. Let's start with the leaks.
Yes.
Um, Justice Panton, when he had his meeting with the Parliament, he mentioned the leaks, and the question was asked to him by one of the GLP members in regarding the leaks, and his response was basically that the leaks did not come from his side because the leaks always happen after the reports are given to the Parliament all the time. So it's somewhere in the Speaker of the House chair that the
Mm-hmm.
leak happened from, because three persons are always given copies of the IC report. So it's either one of the three leaked the information to NNN and Revo. Now let us take on go back to Christopher Tufton and market me. For Jamaicans who don't understand something, first of all, Christopher Tufton did not have to rent out a private location to have this meeting. Reason is that there are enough government owned conference centers in Kingston,
Yes.
like the one downtown. It's there for us to use for free. So that itself is a scam
Yes.
and a lie. The other point I would like to make is that the $300 million advertisement for Jamaica Moves and all of that crap that he was doing on stage with all these people with him little t-shirt and him tight up bicycle shorts, and come on TVJ and CVM with his people them doing aerobics, all of that crap that he has been doing. Let me inform my Dominicans about something. Do you remember API? API transition to JIS. What is the job of JIS? JIS is a government owned company that does broadcasting and PR for the government.
Yes.
Therefore, the government does not need to pay for any ads. And if the government wants to put ads in newspaper like the Gleaner and the Observer, they get the ads for free. So what is Sultan talking about? It's another scam. No, our ancestors who wrote these rules and regulations and established the constitution and established the IC, the original writers of these rules and regulations were honorable people, people with integrity, people with who have honesty in their hearts, but they never expected that in this generation that these laws would be manipulated. And as my friend and brother Melting Pot said, they go through a door and close a window. and they find every loophole to drum through. And that is what they use to manipulate. So I do agree with my two brothers here today tonight that the laws need to change, be revised, be reviewed, upgraded, updated, and etc. to prevent these and plug every loophole in the future. And I remember on the campaign of the PNP, our comrade leader promised to review and revise many things that are in place right now. So
Yes.
I yield the floor to you, my brother.
Well, obviously, thank you for that. Thing. And this is what I'm saying that, going forward, right, we have to change it, must change it, right? You have to have a mechanism to protect taxpayers, right? You can't, and this is totally unethical. You, as a member of parliament, are to know that if you are doing the people's business, you've been elected as a member of parliament, right? You shouldn't use that opportunity in enriching yourself, right? By giving yourself contract or any other or any other system, using the system, you understand, to gain government contracts, right? So that you can enrich yourself. It shouldn't, right? So that need to, revisit, make sure that laws put in place directly to avoid members of parliament, right, to be given government contracts, point blank and period. In first world country, it can't happen, right? And I don't understand why it is happening here, because in Trinidad and Tobago, it can't happen in Trinidad and Tobago, and it can't happen in Barbados. And so then we have to make sure that parliamentarians, right, who are representing us, go in parliament and represent the people, you understand, as they are to represent, rather than looking for loopholes and gaps, right, to curve themselves through the loopholes and curve themselves through gaps to enrich themselves. And that is what Andrew Warner's administration is doing. That is the exact thing Andrew Warner's administration is doing. Now, one other thing that I spoke about, which Mark Golden, right, attacked that in Parliament today. Remember, I came some time ago and I spoke about the Parliamentary Oversight Committee, which is very important. Now, if the People's National Party did have control of the PAC and the PAAC, right, Tufton and all these things that happening, it wouldn't have happened, right? And they use their 49 to manipulate the process and take away the oversight from the opposition. So this is what Mark Golden is talking about. Let us get into it. Let us share the document to show people what Mark Golden, right, is talking about. Here it is, people, right? Editorial Reset House Committee. Now, when the new parliament convenes soon, in the aftermath of this week's general election, this newspaper looks forward to Prime Minister Andrew Warner moving quickly to repair an error of his last administration. He must return the chairmanship of parliamentary committees to opposition members of the House and instruct his Jamaica Labour Party legislators to robustly participate in rather than frustrate the work of the committees. Such a move would be good for Parliament oversight of the executive and contribute to lifting the quality of governance, especially in the context of the Prime Minister's oldest Jamaica Labour Party, JLP winning a third consecutive term in government, and the PM's warning to the team to avoid arrogance, which is really real danger of power and the longevity thereof. Currently, the standing orders, parliamentary rule book, legislate the chairmanship of 3 of the 13 standing committees. The Standing Order Committee and the Committee of Privileges, which are to be headed, right, the Speaker and the House Committee, which deals with the physical convenience and comforts of the legislature, which is shared by the leader of the House. That must not happen. You have to have separation of powers. And where Juliet Holness again is the wife of the Prime Minister, right? Seems to be the chair, chairing these oversight committee as well, apart from the integrity oversight committee, you know. That is not the only committee that Juliet Holness sits on, right? Look at this. However, it is a long-standing convention that the Public Accounts Committee, and the Public Administration and Appropriation Committee are chaired by opposition members. It has to be, because if this don't happen, we are going to see more robbery of the purse. We are going to see contract where that situation being over budgeted, just like what happened to Cornwall Regional Hospital, just like what happened to Science in Montego Bay, just like what happened, the Science in Montego Bay was roughly about $14 to $15 million. The sign in Negril, roughly about $12 to $13 million. And all this stupidness, right? So the opposition has to have, right, oversight on these 2 committees, right? The PAC, which reviews report by the Auditor General as well as financial statement by public bodies, while the PAAC responsibility is the real-time oversight of expenditure of government ministries and departments. Let me just stop share this and take this away. This is what I'm saying, right? As it relates to that situation, my people, right? That the Jamaica Labour Party blindfold, right, the People's National Party when they have the 49 members and the PNP only have 14, right, have no oversight. And so that they are doing all what, right, they are doing, right, on the situation, right? You want to adjust this melting pot, or you want me to move on?
No, man, I can address it, man, because, you know, we know that the opposition must have some role for playing a parliament, you know.
Yes.
And one such role is the oversight committee, as it relates to the spending power of the government.
Yes.
You understand? They must chair that. Yeah, and it can't be that Micah turn off on them and all these things. So the parliament need to come back to its former days. You know, where law, order, and respect and principle was the order of the day. You understand? And the opposition must have its duty to carry out, because the people elect them as well, too, you know. The people elect them as well. And they are being paid by the taxpayers. So Andrew Holness need to forward over back these portfolio to the opposition.
Exactly.
And him not need to be waiting all this mighty long time like somebody have begged him to hand it back over. Because it was a breach. You're using the 49 majority and stamping them authority over the People's National Party members then in the parliament. That has to stop. So it need to start now relinquish the stranglehold we have from parliament. Give what is due to Caesar. And the oversight committee, the opposition have to cheer that when it comes to government spending. You understand? Him can't have that in him and no more. And we have make sure no so we pressure him on that, you know. We have pressure him on that. Yeah. Because we are gonna catch up on that in a latter part of the last term when I'm serving, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why I'm not getting beaten upon that the way I'm to get beaten upon that. Because we never know so the opposition have them jurisdiction there. That is something that belongs to them.
We
The
found out later.
government cannot, yeah, the government can't oversee itself, you know, when it comes to taxpayers' money being spent, you know. You have to have a opposition to monitor that
Yes. Also, you have to
and
have oversight.
report. Of course, the opposition have to monitor that oversight department of the public funds and speak on behalf of where them see things are go wrong because them have knowledge of what is what.
Exactly.
But oh, Andrew do it. The opposition never have no knowledge of nothing what them a do.
No, no.
Nothing at all.
Exactly.
So it was a one-sided thing, you know, basically around the country, you know. It was a dictator in a essence. You understand?
Certain.
Yeah.
Certain.
There was no two-party system as far as me concerned. Andrew only make the opposition become a ghost opposition in a parliament, turn off all mic on them and all these things. Spend 18 million for bringing a mic system. For what? In the parliament, 63 member plus the Senate them, and you bring in mic system in that. You're crazy. This guy are going with too much thing, man. And we have to put a stop to him, you know. Because I feel like him get to because him get a third term. And you know, see what him used to show himself to the public. Just look what him used to show himself to the public. Him use a mass murder and all him little cranny self from where me that hide and make public appearance. Him and Google too. That
Yeah.
bad. Me I go talk on that little more. I heal back the floor.
All right. Blessed melting pot. Powerful punching. Come in, ladies. Spinks. All right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
yes, Uncle Byron. Um, today while I was watching the parliament and I was on a site, they're watching the comments that were made when our members refer to the oversight committee. And it's then I realized how ignorant and how many Jamaicans lack knowledge like
Yes.
this because they do not realize that every government that is supposed to be in power, the opposition supposed to be in charge of the oversight committee by having the chairmanship there. And we need to have go back to our primary school and high school education of the lack of information from that age group, people who are adults commenting on a public website negative and ignorant comments when our members refer to the chairmanship of the oversight committee being returned to us. We are asking back for what belongs to us because a similar thing happened back when Seaga had 60 members. Do you remember that part in history
Oh, yeah.
of our political history? The
1980.
Yeah, man,
same,
1983.
right, the same dictatorship and control of our island. And what happened? Everything went down
Yes.
after that. As the same method that Andrew used back after 2020, the COVID election, when they got the majority seat over there. Now, all of this reminds me of the higglers in our market who sell fruits and vegetables, who, when they buy a scale
Mm-hmm.
and they change the scale
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that they are always telling people or their customers less than the value of their
Mm-hmm.
service. That is exactly what the GLP did. They reset the scale in 2020 of our government, and
Yep.
right now, PNP is acting like the market inspector who goes around and inspect everybody's scale to make sure it is correct. So we need to reset the scale so it can continue as a country, because we cannot continue this way. That they have control, they dictate to us how the money is being spent, and that is why VAS could dip in our taxpayers' money and remove $1.4 billion without giving us a receipt. And that is why Foxconn could give us a bill for a drill, and all the other shenanigans that they have been doing from 2020. 5 years is overdue for our scale in our government to be reset. And I yield the floor to you, Uncle Byron.
Exactly. No, it's important in terms of having those committees and the over for the opposition to provide checks and balance and transparency, right? Because the opposition ought to know how to relate to government expenditure, right? Particularly where the EASC is concerned, right? And so then, I mean, what the Jamaica Labour Party, what the Jamaica Labour Party is doing, right, is just goes to show you, right, that they are in it, right, to enrich themselves, and they are getting away with a lot. Now, my Jamaican people, let us get into more serious matters. Criminals in jacket and tie. Let us go here, right? Let me just share this information, my peeps, right? All right. Let me just share this information here. Now, this is something that I want to address. My Jamaican people, this is something that I really want to address. Now, analysts urge leaders to show commitment to constitutional reform. I'm really serious about this. Now, watch this now, people. Look where I'm going. Political analysts are stressing that Jamaica's constitutional reform process demands visible commitment from both Prime Minister Andrew Holness and opposition leader Mark Golin. Yes, that is true. Commentator Clyde Williams suggested that Golin should not allow PNP spokesperson Zulika Jess, right, to meet Justice Minister Delroy Chuck to avoid a stalemate, right? While analyst Damian Garden warned that genuine bipartisanship is critical, Garden argued that the country's leaders must engage openly and directly with stakeholders to frame key debates, articulate the national vision, and legitimize the process. With me, in terms of my perception, I cannot be in agreement with Clyde Williams, right? Stating that commentator Clyde Williams suggested that Golin should allow PNP spokesperson Zulika Jess, right, to meet, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck to avoid a stalemate. I am not going to agree with that, and I'm going to speak as it relates to why I am not going to agree with that. Right? Now, let us stop share this and, stop sharing. Right? Let us get to in terms of what I am saying here. Now, as per standard, right? Coming back from way back, that you have serious constitutional, reform or anything amendment within the Constitution. And we're just standard where the leader of the opposition, right, and the leader of the government, right, met and have dialogue. Now, again, no disrespect to Zest, but for me, not knowing how rounded Zest is on the Constitution, that if that happened, there can be some situation that pastor or she may not catch up on. What am I talking about? Remember when Andrew Holness, right, with Marlin Malawufort tried to do them anky-panky, and Mark Golden, right, found out certain situations and stop it from before it happened, right? I really don't have the level of confidence there, right, where that is concerned. And again, the next thing, right, I could be wrong, I could be wrong. Let me say that categorically here, I could be wrong. But that's my opinion. And I'm going to go to the panel as well. I am saying that, to me, it seems disrespectful that after Andrew Holness claimed that he want, a participative type of government between him and the opposition, as it relates to his ceremonial speech, right? He said he wants to have, a collaborative dialogue with Mark Golden as it relates to moving forward with the constitution reform. Then if that is so, then why are you sending now Mark Golden, right, to speak with, right, Delroy Chuck? Why are you sending Mark Golden to speak with Delroy Chuck? So on that note, I am just not going to be in agreement, right, as it relates to how I am seeing where Andrew Holness breaching constitutional norms, standard operating procedures, and people are carrying down the bar for Andrew Holness. You understand? And at the same time, expecting Mark Golden, you understand, to bow under Andrew Holness. Look, if it has to reach stalemate, then so be it. If it has to reach stalemate, let it be. Because Mark Golden has as much tooth, right, as it relates to stopping Andrew Holness 2/3 in the Senate and 2/3 in the Parliament. So he has no power to dictate. So under that circumstances, I'm telling Mark Golden to stand his grounds. But that is my perception, right? So let me just hear from the melting pot and hear what melting pot has to say about that.
And I back where you say 100% because I said the same thing last week. Yeah. Mark Golden don't need to play the loose ball with Andrew Holness no more.
No.
Because Andrew has no power anymore to determine what type of game I play in a parliament now. It's a level play field in a parliament, so to speak, now. Yeah. Gone are the days when the dictator stand predominant. Yeah. And him can undermine Mark Golden, in the sense where now him a double down and want Mark Golden to go talk to Delroy nasty truck, Delroy garbage truck, the just shit minister. You understand? Because it's supposed to be the prime minister and the leader of the opposition who go into dialogue as it relates to changing the constitution and agreeing upon, whatever laws that they are. Yes. So that there's no controversy down the road. Yeah. But for Mark Golden now send a representative, yeah, to go deal with such matter, then Mark Golden wouldn't be the leader of the opposition. Mark Golden wouldn't be the leader of the opposition, So garbage Andrew Holness need to just watch what he must say.
Exactly, my wife.
Because I'm still thinking in that dictatorship mode. No. You come right back down to earth now. You're supposed to act accordingly to the power that bestowed upon you as a prime minister for the country. We don't deal with dictatorship in our place. Yeah, and if you ask Mark Walden at the swearing-in ceremony, yeah, to in collaboration with you to get this thing done for Jamaica become a republic, then you're supposed to follow suit. Yeah, but you're double down and you're shy away from the process where you reignite just the other day. So we have to question this guy because I feel like Mark Walden going to send a representative of them can angle a man angle. You mad? Mark G the man who write most of the law, you know. In recent time, you know, over 120. Him know this in and out. Yeah. So Mark Walden supposed to stand predominant where that is concerned and represent the People's National Party as a leader of the opposition. But them don't want to face a Marky G. He's scared of Marky G. Because I know him now get him away with Marky G with the things we want institute, you know.
Exactly, Melton.
This guy is a criminal. Andrew is a criminal. And let me tell Andrew something. In real sense, you know, and reality terms, you know, I don't think this guy is supposed to be the man where participate in changing the constitution so that we can become a republic state. No, this guy is a criminal. That not supposed to depend on him resume at no time at all. When he retire, when in their prison. Him can't be the man. Right now, man, the investigation, we don't use them type of people have to write law in our country. Or pass law in our country. No criminal can come to that table there. You understand? So me I tell Marky G said, stand your ground. Yeah, we need clean people at the bargaining table when we are dealing with matters like this. We can't have no criminal in front of a clean man. Andrew a criminal.
Same so.
I mean, I take back the talk. Yeah, him under investigation for illicit enrichment. Him statutory declaration cannot be certified from way back as 1998. And him lied to the Integrity Commission. And him lied to the Jamaican people at all time. Oh, if you have this man at the bargaining table. You're mad? The Constitution has somewhere respond to the country, you know, and the people, you know. You can't have a criminal in that process. No way, no shape or form, you can't have that piece of shit at the bargaining table. Him for go away. Him rush robber election, you know, in front of where, you know. Then at him we want to come deal with Constitution. You're mad. You know, so we are going, you know, see man go Israel and take all Israel police uniform, come to Jamaica, come change our original #1 uniform and make the police look like them are Israeli police. They did him. And that him did go wrong the far.
Exactly.
So we don't want him in a constitution debate with Marky G. Him a shit. Him a criminal. And him not good for the country nor the people in the country. Just look what him a do. Even young youth now, him want to give them 15 years for water gun.
Crazy.
15 years for water gun. And if you are the mother and it's fine in your possession, you get 15 years. If you are granny, you get 15 years. Yeah, this guy now spear, no rod for spoil no child. Him now cut no quarters given. I saw him deal with the society. Dictatorship. We don't want no dictator when it comes to a constitution. Because him going to put something in there to give him that credence, you know, and that leverage we want, you know. Yeah, because this guy is crazy power. This guy is power crazy. We have to get rid of him like, no. Boy, man, come sit down about Constitution. I'm a criminal. You mad? I heal back the floor, my brother.
Well, you know, let me say, I have to agree with Melton Pot, you know, where that is concerned. Right. Just let me just have Sister Spinks. I don't want to just get into Sister Spinks' way, you know. Let Sister Spinks say what she has to say, and then me just give a little cover. All right, Sister Spinks, go ahead.
Aaron, I have to agree with everything that my friend and brother Melting Pot just said a while ago. I agree with you 100%. This man is disrespectful to our constitution from day one. He has been in politics, so why should he be at the bargaining table now? I agree with you, Melting Pot, 100%. Because worst of all, he does not want to give up his Privy Council membership.
Yeah.
Andrew is the only Jamaican right now who swore allegiance to the English monarch. So he's been a hypocrite when he said on his swearing clown ceremony circus on the circus that day that he is interested in having a conversation with Mark Golden. And now that Mark Golden is holding him accountable to his words that he uttered at his swearing in ceremony, he's trying to back down, he's trying to back away. And we know that one of the reasons he's trying to back away is because he cannot face our comrade leader. A dishonest person like Andrew cannot sit across a table and look into Mark's eyes because Mark has clean hands and a clean heart and is an honest man with integrity. And when you have somebody who is as corrupt as Andrew, because he feels guilty within himself and because he knows that he's a crook and he's dishonest and he's corrupt, he cannot face and sit across a table from Mark. And this is one of the reasons. If you know when a person is guilty of something, how they shy away from the persons that they're supposed to give an accountability to, you look, most people who are into security or into police work or into investigation. Guilty people normally give away themselves. I have friends who work as security at the Stansted airport, and they say most times when the drug mules are going through the airport, they give away themselves by their own behavior. So this is typical of Andrew. Do you remember last year when his IC report was to be tabled? What did Andrew do? Try and dodge and avoid Parliament for a couple of weeks. And every time something come up regarding him and his corruption, he avoids Parliament for a couple of weeks. That is typical of Andrew. And the Constitution reform that Malahoo and Andrew were trying to do would make politicians have more power, be less accountable to us, be less transparent to us. But we have 28 now, and we have Jess, who they think, who they think is not well-rounded and qualified because of her age, but she's a very brilliant young woman. And she is no comparison to Malahoo when it comes to the law, because Malahoo might have the age and she might have the experience as a judge behind under her resume, but Malahoo was a failed lawyer and a failed judge. While our test on our side is young, brilliant, and although she's younger in age than Malahoo, she already has seniorship in the law firm. You understand? Once you pass 10 years as a lawyer, you are in seniorship. And she has accomplished that as a young woman because she's brilliant.
Yes.
Therefore, and she's well rounded because she represented Jamaica on international platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So she has the experience. Plus, she has in her back pocket people like our comrade leader, who is also a lawyer, a
Mhm.
brilliant mind. She has ISAT, and she has other people on our side. Because remember, we have the best lawyers on our side. And so far, when you look at the track record of the GLP for the past 10 years, ask yourself this question: how many court cases have they won? We have the track record of winning court cases against the GLP and this government going forward. So therefore, when they underestimate Jess, they do not realize that she is brilliant. Also, the fact that she has brilliant faculty behind her and she can do the job, because
Mhm.
if she could not do the job, Comrade leader would not appoint her to that portfolio. And I yield the floor to you, Uncle
Wonderful.
Byron.
That really love that, right? Let me just if you notice, I leave analyst professional, right, input up there because I want to take a bite at that. And I do agree with analyst professional, right? So what he's saying, what is the rush with constitutional reform? Exactly. What difference does it make? Why would we chance having GLP manage this at all? Right? Mark Golden must go no further with this criminal peer. I love this.
Big up, big up, big up,
I
analyst.
love this. Right?
100%.
Because again, since analysts stated that, we don't even want to put this under Andrew Warner's belt for go give him bragging rights. Right? And we are talking about, listen, we know that Andrew Holness, right? Let me just, correct certain things because I don't want to be quoted out of context, right? To say, okay, all right, I am encouraging, right, the People's National Party to create a stalemate. No, I mean, if you have sensible policies, right, that is going to do nation building and, nothing in there that is going to result right in the future where it can becomes now dictative or the opportunity to be a dictator. Because based on what Mark Golden stopping, that was Andrew Owens an attempt, based on how you want to restructure right the Senate, right, and certain process. And Mark Golden, right, and others who had given wonderful oversight on that and, speak out against it and correct that behavior. So under no circumstances, right, in terms of what I said, right, that, we should allow this situation in terms of wanting to rush a constitutional reform. Let me use that verbiage. Wanting to rush a constitution reform. It is to me, it is a process that really needs to also go to the people.
True.
Right? Not just by just parliamentarians alone. I think a referendum needs to be done on this, and it goes to the people so that the people can, you understand, the people's voice can be heard. So there is some form of public education need to, pursue in terms of trying to rushing this. This is not a rush thing. And if you have to take 10 more years and wait until good governance, right, present itself, what we are saying, and what I believe many of the persons in the chat are saying, and people who are listening to us, that yes, we want constitutional reform, but we want it from good governance, a government that have the people in mind. To be honest, let me say it. Let me come out and say it clear. I wouldn't want a constitutional reform done by a kleptocratic government. And Andrew Onless administration is clearly a kleptocratic government. People need to speak the truth. It is a kleptocratic government. Right? And so then I am somewhat, agreeing with analysts. You understand? Why are you rushing it? Now, let us get into the next piece. People, the next piece that I'm getting to quite upset me, The audacity of this man, I know. This man will just believe that he's entitled, I'm going to tell him, say, God no like ugly, See, me have to do, I did a tooth extraction and me have to make sure somebody use the side camera because God no like ugly. And this ugly brother, believe that him can manipulate. And you know the reason why I'm agree with people? Because he offended our children. He offended our children. His action prevent our children from benefit from good education. And listen me. I hope good common sense prevail, where this brother is concerned, Without, let me just get into it and highlight something to show you how. Man, I tell you something when trust me. It's crazy. Crazy. Look at these people. Look at this behavior. Can you imagine, people? Can you imagine? We have to talk about this, We have to go to the panel and talk about this. You know what this? You know the entire body language is saying to me? It seems as if he's so confident that him anticipate the result. Because him know the result. Him so confident that he's not worrying about facing prosecution. The man is on 4 term. 4 term. Now, in terms of what this brother charged for, thieving the baby them off of them breast mother, off of them mother's milk, because that's exactly what he did, right? And of the audacity coming out 4 term. 4 term. So when I say that Andrew Onless government is a kleptocratic government, because guess what? Him have the lead on Andrew Onless, and he's depending on Andrew Onless government to make sure that he's not being prosecuted. He have that level of confidence that he's not going to be prosecuted. And the way how he's behaving, that's exactly the way how he's behaving. And then now, if this man should get away with his crime, what does he say? That he's entitled to dip in our treasury as he have a mind to enrich himself? Because it seems like that's what him and Andrew Onless are saying. That they have the right, they are entitled to taxpayers' money. And this is what we are talking about in terms of most of the project what Jamaica Labour Party had done, over budgeted. Over budgeted. When I saw the difference between our mayor, right, as opposed to Feda, and see how much Feda spend and nothing being done. And when we look at our mayor who take over KSMC, right, the little that he have and done so much. And so then I am saying, when we look at these things, what Feda had done, right, is to cripple the system. Mayor Swaby went there and used little, and done much. And the Andrew Wallace-led government, a little sign bill up a Montego Bay, $40 million. Welcome sign to Montego Bay. Them carry out the same thing in a Negril. Welcome sign in Negril. $12 million. You kidding me? Look here. Swaby used less than that. Clean up the market, set up the market. How much market? Less than that. So what you tell me? Kleptocratic government and this brother here, the behave. You understand? Like, okay, he must get off of this. Right? Now, let me hear what you have to say on this melting pot.
Well, if him get off of this, you know, there's some know say no law and no justice no there in Jamaica. You understand? Yeah. Because there's no way a guy can steal 55 million from education. Yeah? Him and him friend, Pinnock, as we know them to do, yeah, set up 28 bank account. The student paid tuition fee into and all these things. Yeah? And then come out now and brag and put up finger about 4 term. A man supposed to in a more defensive mood because judgment are taking, but this guy is in a celebrated mood.
Look at that.
So that is telling us same have, you know, pre-judgment how we going or where the outcome going to be. But we have let them know say don't try it because this might be the last straw. Do not try this type of hanky-panky business with roll read case. We don't want to try to extend it to a time frame where statute of limitation would have proceed over it. Yeah? This guy should have been behind bars, you know, like any other criminal in our country. I'm a criminal, a white-collar criminal. Him is a piece of shit. You understand? And because him and Andrew always play the same game, and him used to score the pot for Andrew. Andrew tried to keep him afloat. But we know him supposed to sink long time. Because you, as a big reputable man, yeah, why would you give a helper the access, an old woman at that? Yeah, senior citizen where you're supposed to have respect to. And you mix her up in a corruption, in a theft. Yeah, in a fraud thing, basically. Yeah. Because she opened an account in her name, but the money no belongs to her. Every time you keep the card, you not see roll read, keep the card. And you send your nephew with her. And you tell her where to withdraw. And she give back the nephew the card for car come give you. All out of this 55 million and 30,000 you give the woman. 30,000 you give her. You understand? And then you implicate the driver now. Yeah. Well, all them do is just drop off your youth them and pick them up in and run like an errand for you, know. You see the man a caterer. So from that alone, from them lie the way I tell, that alone send you a prison for me, you know. Me don't even need to try you no more, you know. Because what the lady said was enough evidence to show say you're guilty or something. That was enough evidence, you know. We don't need nothing more. But when we see them do the little early morning, raid in place. We know the PR. See how long them spend it. And everybody know him and them woman them. And them picnic. And them cover them up in a leopard skin coat. What that for? Everybody know his real real. Five the pick them at Jamaica College know him. We in the community know who live over the yard. So I don't know what to cover them up for. We cover up the ghetto youth them. We not cover them up. So this man I get special treatment from long time, you know. By Andrew Wallace, you know. Because Andrew and him play the same game. Exactly. Him score the pot for Andrew already. Yeah, Andrew bring him come there so directly for score education money. Because them pay scan regard to education. That's why Andrew draw him as him advisor. And when Andrew step up, Andrew bring him in now as the Minister for Education. You know, see the game where Andrew play. Someone who in charge of this court procedure now would have really let go that piece of shit, yeah. All them would have do is kill for them career. That's all I would have seen them do for them career, you know. Any judge will try that case and level nasty criminal Royal Reed. A kill or kill for no career. Who not part of the system, the corrupt system. Yeah, because this is a open and cut and dry case. Why would this guy use a helper to open an account for him in her name? But all the money in there belongs to him. And the card have to go back to him. Why? Exactly. Ask yourself that question.
Exactly.
And don't make this guy come go on like he's a Hollywood actor in our place. Boy, must celebrate the 4th term. 4th term, which part? Andrew T for election and couldn't face Jamaica public for one month. 1 month Andrew hide from the people. And all we see them do is go stage a little thing with some policeman dress up. And I don't call them more gunman, them a police. We got a Commodore.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and they must stage a scene.
You have a lot of noise in the background. You have a lot of noise in the background. Hold on, you have a... Go on the melting pot. Sir, yeah. You have a lot of noise in the background. You have a lot of noise in the background. It's distracting.
You know what is going on there right now?
Yes.
The government here judge them certain amount of money and raise them fee and do every good thing. So they might try to do this thing. And that's not supposed to happen. I would like to know that the government and a whole try to get some farmer, the opposition and everybody get some farmer people to investigate all of these things because there's no way them people here should have set free. So the judge them get some PR and whatsoever. So watch out and see no man shop, everybody was free. I'm telling you.
All right, my brethren.
I'm telling you.
All right. So now for us.
All right, we talk again.
Blessings.
I'm still gonna listen, but I'm just telling you my opinion.
Okay, all right, cool. Blessings.
Okay, brother.
All right. Okay. Yes, Martin Pat. Sorry about that. Continue.
Yeah, man. No problem, man. Yeah, what we say, you know, Andrew Hyde from Jamaica people from him win the election, you know. From him steal the election. Yeah? Because I'm shame. I may have to endorse what Spink say. Anytime him guilty, him either way. We know that. So him couldn't face them. But where the whole of them orchestrate, you know, it's another Cherry Lane mass murder in a Commodore. And then that bring out Andrew Wallace, you know, because police go kill the people up there. Police. And we have reliable source. We make we know say police go there so murder the people in the PMP constituency.
Whoa.
That's why you hear me talk about say them deal with that thing there, you know. Yeah. Them play politics like that. It's PMP place them a target. So them go back at Cherry Lane go kill the local youth over there. Yeah. I remember the mass murder in a Cherry Lane a year ago. I know nobody no get wolf and charge for that, you know. But I come promise the people in my Commodore say him a go solve that. And them orchestrate that. That was what Andrew Wallace used to come out in the public. Again, he was hiding from the public because he's guilty and ashamed of stealing the general election and him know everybody know him steal it. Yeah. So when we see him on Google too, I go on with, yeah. This just show you say it's a criminal network. It's a criminal network, you know. Cause hear him come there. No prime minister no go up on crime scene. No prime minister in the world go up on crime scene. A police and you might see the commissioner come out. Yeah. And the nasty sleeping crab at them, but prime minister not supposed to come out. I would say Andrew do this thing all the while and I do PR and I try to present back himself in a society. Yeah. Because I hear him come there to Google too. What happened here this morning? It happened from last night, the night before. And why would you come there? You know, hear what happened, you know, listen news. You're the prime minister, you know what happened in your country the night before. So them get up on the wrong note because when them do PR, them can't even get it right. This guy now no head space. I be a shit and corruption full of Andrew head. And it's an unpicked commissioner when you know not more policing. Him have the Google took care of him talk. Yeah. Because them are going to say the place quiet, you know. But then all of a sudden now a gang reprisal for a shooting from 2 years ago. So it's a criminal party we have. Yeah. And them back criminal. And them back criminality. So going back to Red Real, him a back him long time. Because Red Real a criminal. And him is a part of the criminal party. So the whole of them contrive and back criminality. Yeah. So judge who in charge of this case, make sure no get it right for once. The Jamaican people them counting and no. The children them counting and no. Forget this right. There is no way you can get Red Real case wrong. Justice must be served. And it must be served in a meaningful way. No slap on the wrist business. If we get put where, I yield back the floor.
All right, listen. For that melting pot, let me squeeze in Sister Spinks right away. All right, Lady Spinks.
Yes, Uncle Byron, I'm melting pot. I'm going to come from this video. My comment on this video is going to come from a different angle.
Yes.
The reason I think, this is my opinion, that Royal Reed did that little comment is because he's embarrassed. And the only way he could put off the journalist is to put up his fingers and make that comment. That is showing because that is a fake way of showing cockiness, overconfidence, and arrogance that he thinks he might win the case. But I think he is nervous and he has no other way to present himself to the public in that few seconds but to deflect and make that comment. So I think he was just deflecting from his nervousness. Because even though they put out in the public that 15% of the witnesses and the evidence is not available, we still have 85% of the witness and the information. And as long as they can track the money,
yeah,
and show how the money was tracked from one location to another, then we have enough evidence to present into the court. And we know from the track record that we have that the government, the GLP government, is not good at winning cases before the court. No. Please remember, Jamaica, let me remind you this. Do you remember the case that was tried last week and concluded last week? The 3 thieves from Insport, Mr. Chubby, Frenchman connection. Those 3 thieves from Insport, they were found guilty of fraud for $222 million. They are yet to be sentenced. So let me remind Jamaicans that that case is one of our successes. So do not give up hope on the Royal Reed case. Do not feel as if we are defeated before we start the fight. I am positive. I will remain faithful in our judges and have confidence in our justice system because there are people there who are honest, who do not want to have their name corrupted and mixed up in Royal Reed corruption. I believe that and I have faith going forward that we will win this case because do you remember Royal Reed even had the audacity couple years ago after all of the scandal came out, all of his things about his house being raided in the morning, all of that scandal came out. He wanted to sue Jamaica College and take them to court, and it was public pressure made him have to stop because he wanted to sue for salary. Do
Yeah.
you remember that?
Yes. Yes.
This man is so arrogant, and it's
All
so typical
right.
of the Jamaican Labour Party members of Parliament to be like this, and it's right through into the same thing is with their supporters. They're arrogant. They come out wrong and strong all the time. So, Royal Reed, we are looking forward to be eating popcorn
Hmm?
on the day of your sentencing. We are looking forward to you doing prison time because the helper and Amber Holding basically did the same thing as far as I'm concerned. They were holding money for someone who is guilty of illicit enrichment. And I yield the floor to your Uncle Byron.
Well, thank you for that, Lady Sphinx. Right. I love what you have said, Magic Part. Right. I mean, from night, right, I was blazing it away. Right. But for me, in terms of my perception, I do believe that he's going to be found guilty. That's my perception because, and you know that I always defend the judiciary, right? And based on what certain things that I'm looking on, it's a difficult case for him to beat. Honestly, a difficult case for him to beat. So, I mean, if he beat it, I'll be surprised. I'll be dead surprised. But in terms of what I am looking on, and remember, I know I'm not privy in terms of all the evidence. It's just things that just coming out and things being discussed, and and I am weighing them in terms of my subjective opinion. I don't see I honestly don't see how Royal Reed is going to beat this case, but it's a wait and see for many of us. So that is what we are waiting on. It's definitely a wait and see for many of us. Now, people, let me say this. Jamaica is in a very serious situation, economically speaking, if I can use that term. The economy is in a bad state, and we're going to show some evidence here. Now, watch this, people. Watch this. Look where I'm going. Right? Let me just take out this market. Okay, take out that. All right. All right. Let me just get into this. Now, look at this, people.
Bay Sintan, as truck drivers employed to the China Harbour Engineering Company staged a protest over unpaid salaries. The drivers expressed their frustration with the company's refusal to pay salaries owed for several months. They claim the company owes them millions. A truck strategically parked, blocking the entrance of the China Harbour Engineering Company construction site in Mami Bay, Santana. A definite ploy by the drivers to get the Chinese manager's attention. Close by, the drivers encircle a security officer and Chinese construction managers. Several truck drivers are employed to truck construction material like stone, marl, and diesel to the construction site. They say they are frustrated over alleged weeks of unpaid labor. One driver who supplies diesel to the company is allegedly owed over $11 million.
Truckmen has been here over 1 month now. They have been delivering marl. They have been delivering stone to do the Chinese contractors' work, and we haven't gotten any pay. We have a gas oil person who has been delivering gas oil to them over here. They have not paid him. They have owed him over $11 million. We, the truckers, are here. Some of our truckers, they are owed $1 million, some $800,000. So we are restive now. We can't stay here no longer and let the Chinese come here and owe us for 1 month and over 1 month and not pay. We need our money.
The driver further alleges during the deliberation, one Chinese manager made an explosive claim that he has connections that would exempt him from paying the truck drivers. The security officer tried to maintain order, assuring the men the situation would be resolved and appealed to them to stay calm.
Right now, we haven't seen anybody yet. We have been here. There's a security guy that's trying to tell us what to do, and we can't listen to the security guy because the security guy is not who pays. There's a China guy, he came out here. He told one of our, he told the guy that delivers the petrol that he has friends in the high government, so he doesn't have to pay because he owes them 11 million, and he's telling the guy that he has friends in government, so he doesn't have to pay him.
Now, during the heated exchanges, the manager told the drivers payments are only due after a month as per contract.
All right. People, why you think I played that? This has nothing to do with the children and adolescent hospital in St. James. It's a different location that, That happened roughly about 3 or 4 months ago, People, that clip that I just played happened 3 or 4 months ago. Now I made some contact, and I was told that those truck drivers have still not yet been paid. Think of what I'm saying to you, people. So it's not only the Chinese coming out and asking for their money, Several truck drivers, and as a matter of fact, not only truck drivers, several people who have done road constructions have not yet been paid. People, Mr. Jamaica economy is in bind. Now, let us get into, because in terms of what you already know, right? Now, let us show you more stuff here, right? So, we have a series of them, when we said the situation.
مساء الخير، عايزك تركز معايا في الخبر اللي طالع قدامك ده خبر بيقول ان مصر وتركيا المفروض هيتعاونوا مع بعض لانتاج طائره بدون طيار. ولا عادي، ما تستغربش، اصلا اللي بيحصل في
Sorry about that, my people. Sorry about that. Let me just share this again. Okay. Sorry about that.
These nationals working on the construction of the child and adolescent hospital in Montego Bay have taken strike action, refusing to continue work after reportedly going unpaid for the past 6 months. The workers, gathered at the entrance of the site, have downed their tools in protest, making it clear they will not return to duty until their grievances are addressed. Despite the language barrier, their frustration is evident as they stand united in demanding the wages owed to them. The standoff has drawn attention to the serious issue of delayed payments on the multi-million-dollar project, which is expected to serve as a vital medical facility for the region once completed. In response, the management team has begun reaching out to the disgruntled workers in an effort to diffuse tensions and find a resolution that will allow construction to resume. The strike has put a spotlight on labor concerns within the project and raised questions about accountability and its execution. Share your thoughts below.
Look here. Look how much Chinese I work. I don't get fucked.
All right. Let me stop share this. Put this away. Right? And let me show you that Jamaica in a serious bind. Now, watch this. Andrew Holness, right? And other contractors, as it relates to some housing property. Now, watch this now, people. The country is in serious dilemma. Country is in serious dilemma. Right? Look at these people. Frustrated Elcha view and sit there October 5th. So not long this. Frustrated Elcha view purchasers stage protests over more delays. And we could get into this. Because Andrew Holness run campaign on this, you know, how much him have, how many houses, you understand, building and so forth, right? He campaign on this, and look at this now, people. Upset buyers of the long-delayed Elcha View community in St. Catherine stage a protest outside the property Sunday evening, calling on developers to provide answers. People, Jamaica is in a mess. The community is being developed by Right Solutions and the state agency, Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ, after making down payments up to $1.9 million, right? They would be, homeowners said they have been waiting 3 years without only an incomplete model unit to show people. Now listen, their houses remain skeletons of rusted zinc and concrete slabs. The resident bemoaned yet another missed completion deadline by the developers, who say they will have to wait until December of an update on progress. I wonder if this look like another criminal hack. I go on and sign up people. Why? Now, let me take this. This not look good. No, Jamaica. This not look good. No, melting pot. This can't look good.
Brother. No, that look bad.
Look, let me put you on your arm, address the situation. This can't look good, my boss.
But,
right, melting pot.
Sir Byron, when you look, you know, at several group of people we work, we're Andrew up here, you know. The truck driver, as you rightly point out a while ago, the people who did the census work that was incomplete, them people are not getting paid. That's why them stop.
Exactly.
The nurses, them, was the same situation. Yeah. The police, them. Yeah. And you have other people who carry out road work when they get paid. You understand? I remember even in the past, we have garbage contractor who never get paid for a long time. So this is a widespread problem within the government to pay workers who carry out work for them. Now when you look, you see all Chinese now. Look how it look bad. Chinese in a Jamaica are demonstrate towards lack of payment. So it shows that the country broke. But we've been saying the same thing all along, that the country is broke. There is no economy in Jamaica right now. The economy moved from recession to depression. And Andrew Olison put on a face the other day with some money where them thief from the same treasury, like the $1.4 billion for the school bus them, when no value nothing. That money going to the election pool, yeah, and give it just to retain power. You understand? The drill was an next scam for fund election. So we know the problem exists for a awful long time. Yeah. The lie minister come out and refute the claims of what we have said and say we are cast mischief and mayhem. But we have the solid facts and evidence. Because here it is now. It is coming to tuition where everybody now will speak out on injustice as it relates to lack of payment for them labor.
Exactly.
So this government, this kleptocratic government, this regime government, well led by this nasty criminal Andrew Holness, is in serious problem in paying people them wages. But this is the same man who tell we say unemployment down and the economy is the best since 1962. And him are the father of fiscal discipline. The man is indisciplined to the core. The man is a garbage. The man must leave public office. This guy and the world must be behind bars for all the corruption when carry out and the thievery. And remember, we've been saying it all along. The country is flat and it fierce. It's not breathing. I yield back the floor.
Oh boy. All right. Let me just bring in Spinks, Lady Spinks. Melting Pot said the country is not breathing. Country economy is flatline. Yes, Sister Spinks.
Thank you, Uncle Byron. Boy, Melting Pot, you hit the point right on the head. The country is not breathing, it's flatline. Well, as you mentioned, the truck drivers, 3 months ago, they put out this statement and they made their protest. All right. Then the Chinese came out for the Western Children's and Adolescent Hospital and they protested. And these Chinese were actually fired and sent home after 6 months of not collecting their salaries. Right? So I would ask the question again, who is going to complete this project? Now let me add on to the list that Melting Pot put out there. Remember, morgue owners were not paid. The pharmacy interns that showed up for work, reported for work in Cornwall Regional Hospital and Sabalmar Hospital were sent home on the first day on the job because the money is not there to pay their salaries. The porters and the sanitation team and the janitors at Panishtown Hospital just after election last month, they had to leave the hospital because their contract was not renewed and they were owed money too. And they tried to bring in another company and the company did not come back. So there is nobody there to do the cleaning at Spanish Town Hospital presently. A couple months ago, Cornwall Regional Hospital, the lab techs, the people who test the blood and the urine or whatever, they protested because they did not have for 3 years they were not being paid their uniform allowance for 3 solid years. And I would like to add to that list that the Montego Bay bypass, as everybody see, is going on and talking about Andrew is building Jamaica and he's a builder and patterning on his back. Let me remind you of this little fact. They put the cart before the horse because normally when a government is going to go through private property, when they're doing a government project, they are supposed to purchase the private properties before they start the project. That is what happened when PJ and Porsche was doing their road projects. The private properties were purchased before the road project started. This JLP government has done the opposite. And now people are demanding more than the value of their properties, and they are trying to push the people out of their private properties without paying them. The dictatorship is back again. The gunmanship is back again. The kleptomaniac government is back again. And regarding to health show, I see a realtor company has been advertising these houses, Chris Sam's properties, and what they have done is use AI pics because the real drone pictures of that location, only the model house has a roof on it. And we are not fooled by the AI pictures. So, right solutions, wrong solutions, whatever your name is, for the last 3 to 4 years, you're being given a deposit for the people them house, and the real pictures them of the properties that I see on the internet is just the shell of the houses. Phase one is just the shell. It's just the walls up. Walls alone for the past 3 to 4 years. Phase one, no man. And remember, Andrew, you made an agreement with these people to deliver these houses. You broke ground because we know you're a Hollywood actor. You keep breaking ground and cutting ribbons for things that do not exist or will not exist. Why you keep doing this to us? This project, we have pictures of you breaking ground 3, 4 years ago. You stamp your name on this project because the person who is the developer is your friend. And we have seen the connection between you and this person. Why you keep doing this to people? And then you came out years ago and claimed that people need to not be homeless under your government. Remember, one of your portfolio is housing, and you are the prime minister. Remember, one of your thing, is the social housing project that you copied from Desmond Mackenzie's. Try to remember that. So how come you have housing under your portfolio and you are the prime minister of the country and you broke ground 3, 4 years ago on a housing project and you don't see that the people can deliver? Andrew, may that make sense to us? It shows that you are the one who bad mind by your actions. You are proving to us that you bad mind poor people of their little mansion. And I yield the floor to you, Uncle Byron.
All right. The thing was trying to chat too much. Right. Okay. Let us proceed. Now let's go
Hold on,
so
Serby. We have get Serby.
Yes.
We have get a baffling sound.
Oh,
Keep the device too close to the mic.
Things device. I just turned it off. Okay. Let us get into, right, a government who claim to care, eh? Let us get into this. All right. We're going to get into some very serious topic here, right? Let us bring up this first. Right, a government who claim to care and share that.
%1 growth each year for the next 4 fiscal years. And the major reason, a big part of the reason for this, is that we cannot spend the capital budget which has been allocated in each budget cycle. The government needs to move with alacrity to address the bottlenecks and the problems that are preventing it from spending the capital budget. Whether these be procurement issues or public management investment issues, whatever they are, they must be addressed, or else we will not be able to move to 3, 4, 5% growth, which is necessary to lift the living standards of the Jamaican people and to generate the tax revenues to provide the social services that are necessary.
Visit our website at pnp.org.jm or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica PNP.
All right. So when we look at that, right, let me just give some background before I play the next clip. As according to what Julian Robinson is saying, as it relates to the capital budget, and he defined the capital budget as expenditures for road, right, fixing, hospitals and, certain projects that need to be fixed. And the government is not spending, right, that capital budget, right, to build the infrastructure, right, so that, the country can grow. Now, I am wondering if, okay, although they budgeted for X, said 10 billion for road, and they use 5 billion, where the other 5 billion goes? Has it gone into, relocated into a next project? The government need to know. That's why you find it that the opposition need to have the oversight committee. This is why it is important for them to have these oversight committee, the PAC and the PAAC. So what happened to the money? So now we realize that over $20 billion that have not been spent, that was budgeted to spend. Now, is that $20 billion had relocated to other projects? We need to know. Taxpayers need to know. But while saying that, we have a situation with the Integrity Commission, right? Investigating several members of parliament for illicit enrichment. We have another situation with the Auditor General is saying more than $1 trillion unaccounted for. So if we are to couple that together, let me play a clip so to understand the impact of what we are dealing with, right? Because we are totally oblivious of where that $20 billion have gone after it has been budgeted as it relates to the capital budget. So where that has gone, no explanation from the government. No explanation whatsoever from the government. Goes back to say that the opposition must chair these oversight committee in parliament, must chair to have an understanding to communicate to taxpayers of what is happening. Now, listen to this clip now, my Jamaican people. Let us get into the business tonight. Let us get into the business tonight. Look at this and listen to this. Right? Listen to this.
LP corruption timeline from 2010 to now. Take a seat and get comfortable. This is going to be a long one. October 2010. SCJ, sugar divestment, $43 million. March 2016. Montague. Used car scandal. Used car scandal in which 30 cars are still outstanding. Since 2012, this is valued at $100 million. September 2016. Nepotism, spectrum management. Nepotism and cronyism. December 2016. Debushing scandal. $606 million improperly awarded right before parish council elections. May 2017. Grant of milk powder license and 15 acres of Mombasa grass on personal property. August 2017. Convicted criminals, friends of board members granted gun licenses under questionable circumstances. September 2017. Junction Road. Over $1 billion Jamaican dollars of taxpayers' money has been spent. As of 2023, might have to be abandoned. June 2018. Petrojam perimeter fence. Petrojam perimeter fence was built for $96.8 million Jamaican dollars. August 2018. Derek Smith. Derek Smith 5-year consultancy contract at $7.5 million per year through 2022. Total $37,865,770 Jamaican dollars. Saturday, August 2018. Nepotism. Trevor Forrest resigned as board chairman following revelations that he had improperly intervened in the recruitment process at the Spectrum Management Authority, SMA. August 2018. SMA constituency secretary appointed to board. August 2018. USF, a JLP candidate for Portmore MP, hired her daughter and paid her $80,000 without qualifications. September 2018. NASOL, $12 million. November 2018. TEF scandal, $35 million for garbage bins. December 2018. PCJ, Auditor General Report, citing explicit acts of nepotism. March 2019. Petrojam, Wheatley, and Myrie, May 2019. Free Beach scandal, $13.5 million. Property unsold and beach given away. October 2019. CMU corruption, $50 million of school funds for personal use of Ruel Reed and Fritz Pinnock, $676.8 million of unapproved salaries. Nepotism, cronyism, $122 million per annum for 4 officers, traveling allowances for 119 students, $95.7 million. December 2019. RADA, 33 road contracts awarded without being sent to tender, $521 million. March 2020. Chairman Joseph Shuker authorized an $11.5 million payment to Willard Hilton, former MD of JTA, in March 2020, though he was terminated December 31, 2019. June 2020. Vaz, Minister with responsibility for land and environment, attempts to lease lands 7.7 acres bordering the protected Holywell National Forest Park in St. Andrew, to build a private cabin for 25 years at $120,000 per annum. July 2020. Market Me contracts, not put out to tender totaling $55 million between December 2016 and June 2019. July 2020. J.C. Hutchinson. J.C. Hutchinson signed over 1,400 acres of Holland estate lands to romantic partner and son. Stripped of agriculture portfolio. November 2020. Dry Harbor mining deal. Andrew Holness overturns the NEPA decision to not give Bengal Mining Company. January 2021. UTC. Nepotism. 11 senior managers were found to be unqualified, and one employee's salary was raised 600% in 13 months without meeting the base qualifications. January 2021. UTC. One employee's salary raised 600% in 13 months. Employee did not meet base qualifications. March 2021. JCDC. Nepotism. Trevor Nairn awarded $15 million for gala celebrations. Procurement procedures were breached. September 2021. Nutrition products. Lanatoid. Nepotism. $143 million paid to companies and individuals connected to board members and management. 12 staff positions were not advertised, and 8 members did not have the proper qualifications. October 2021. NMIA, Cypriot HAJ, Chart First Rock, $450 million, Cytoit. 2021, $450 million First Rock stock purchase. Hutchinson was a shareholder in First Rock Capital Holdings Limited while serving on the AAJ board when she voted in favor of the AAJ's investment and failed to recuse herself in keeping with the procedures of the board charter. October 2021. JCTE scandal. $124 million. Permanent Secretary Grace McLean Montague. Nepotism and cronyism. JRC Railway Corporation. Board member made head of HR. November 2021. Clarendon Alumina Production. Belizean company got a 6-month contract which was renewed 5 times for $225,000. November 2021. Jamaica Customs Agency. $664.24 million in arrears for 3 private bonded warehouses. December 2021. Heart Trust, NTA. Staff retreat to Moon Palace for $5.6 million. February 2022. TPD Co. AG report also found that there was no evidence that TPDCO had conducted feasibility studies nor risk assessments for 11 projects at total cost of 478 million Jamaican dollars. March 2022. MOHW, $13 million spent to retrofit a hotel that was used for COVID for 1 year. May 2022. TPD.co AG report exposed that 8 members of staff unqualified for roles with salaries amounting to 31.3 million Jamaican dollars. July 2022. NSWM AA for $5.5 billion spent over the last 5 years to third parties for work projects, but no procedures to ensure work was done. August 2022. Kamina Johnson Smith. GSC campaign. Government expenditure of $43.9 million. MOWH cronyism. March 2022. Absence of formal contracts valued over $400 million. November 2022. Transfer of $174 million to MLCD, an NSWMA, and an NGO, but did not implement measures to track the utilization of the funds disbursed. November 2022. NGO spent $14 million of the $20 million it received on activities unrelated to COVID-19 emergency. Grand total, $6,314,200,000,000 Jamaican dollars. October 2022. J.C. Hutchinson, conflict of interest and second nepotism charge. His influence in the award of state contracts to a company owned by his son. November 2022. Green Acres Police Station. $73 million spent to construct Green Acres Police Station on flood-prone lands. December 2022. NCRA boss intervenes and releases detained shipments of substandard rice imported by company owned by Chris Tufton. January 2023. SSL scandal. 200 accounts hit, exceeding $30 million in fraud. February 2023. Westcon contracts. PM Wholeness conflict of interest probe. May 2023. FCJ, nepotism and cronyism. Minister of State Xavier Main engaged by FCJ for private legal services in acquisition of 200 acres of land from the UDC at Caymanas Estate. November 2023. Wholeness statutory. Declarations to Integrity Commission not yet certified and gazetted 2021 and 2022. March 2024. TAJ forks out nearly $400 million to lease buildings it's yet to occupy after 3 years. September 2024. FID referral. PM Wholeness's uncertified statutory declarations, 2019 to 2022. December 2024. Building permit scandal. April 2025. $31 million drill scandal. June 2025. FID appointment. Appointment of Dennis Chung as FID Chief Technical Director. June 2025. FCJ JLP Counselor referred for prosecution. July 2025. Old School Bus Saga.
Mighty goodness. Papa Jesus. Say if you're not busy, come here. No, Jamaica. We have to talk about this. No, sir. And Jamaica people, all the way you there. The amount of money what Keisha McTief no in that, you know.
No.
The amount of money what Keisha McTief no involved in that. No. I listened to Julian Robinson. And Julian Robinson speaking about the capital budget. I know that Julian Robinson is extremely professional, right? I love him for that. And so then, he's not going down the road. Let me say this. He's not going down the road to talk about misappropriation. But Julian Robinson just strike the conversation out into the public ear in speaking about the capital budget. But now me have to strike this narrative, put this out there to say, well, many of the projects may have missed and the billions of dollars that not being spending as it relates to the capital expenditures could have resulted in what we just played. Where we have also the Auditor General is talking about $1.3 trillion unaccounted for. So when we put everything together, now we could easily understand as to why our capital budget, right, in totality is not spending as how it ought to spend. Let me just bring Melting Pot in the space. Pot.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that. Yeah. Because what them do, whenever them have project, yeah, them project a higher sum than where the project really have a cost and chop the rest. And even give a substandard finish. You understand? Because I just saw Andrew them at work, you know. Andrew them set a system that every project you have to eat a food. It named Eat a Food Project under Andrew Holness administration. You understand? Yeah. And because there is no oversight committee as it relates to government procurement funding, yeah, that is in the hands of the opposition, them alone go through the front door and close the window for everybody and carry out them acts of criminality. Yeah, to the tune where we now see a report as show we say 6,314,222,000,000 in a corruption gone down the drain. Gone down the drain. People, it's a staggering amount that you know. That staggering amount. That is nearly 3 times with debt when we were internationally. So it just shows you the level of underperformance and underachievement that the Andrew Holness kleptocratic government has done. You haven't done anything more than thief since them going to politics. A decade now, practically. Yeah. And what this guy has done is just, you know, fine line as a very enthusiastic part and daily activity. He's enthused in telling lies to the people in society. And he's privy to all the lie because him orchestrate all of them, you know. Them come through him office. That's why I have every agency practically under one umbrella. Even know everything we are going and just set the thing in a way that no catch nor drop. Him have to know if the catch drop. So when we see all of these things now, yeah, and it mount up, yeah, then the ramification where we are looking for now is that people can't get paid because the money we fair run the country on a sustainable basis has been stolen over a 10-year period. So it's just like a teeth in your mouth and it a decay and now it have to come out. So we see everybody a run out now. Sure said them not get paid. But Andrew been lying to us all along, telling about fiscal discipline. Him have the DNA for that, him have the father feet. It make we know everything as it relates to we have the strongest economy since 1962. You understand? And we know all these things are lies. But here it is now. Report I show you 6,314,222,000,000 gone down the drain at the hands of corruption. And it tell you the wide disparity, you know. It tell us all people that get job when they qualify.
Yeah.
It talk about
I'm being their peer raise 6 times the amount.
Exactly. So that show you say is a
hold it a minute,
man.
Let me take a call from Sister Pat. Hold it a minute. Yes, Sister Pat, Mystic Sensation live. Well, go on, my sister.
Good night. Me there class about breaking news, so me I see that she find you before.
Fast.
There's a shooting at Central Kingston, Charles Street, another child gone.
Oh, jeez. My condolences.
Charles Street, Central Kingston. Just now, yeah, just now. So
wow.
them see them. One more people gone again.
Then Andrew wanna say him have crime under control.
Almighty God, I know what this. Jesus Christ, I know what this.
Eh?
I run the fire right now. God of vibes. We don't know who next. I don't know what next. Don't know who next, and we don't know what next. This I get too much I know, man. Too much mistake, too much.
Wow.
Too much I know, man. Too much. I want me going up a listen. So if I'm big neck mix up in there, you think I say that? We talk here after here.
All right. Bless up yourself, my sister. All right. Yes, Melting Pot, go ahead.
Yeah, man, condolence once again to, you know, another family who is going through a bereaved moment. But the thing bad not Jamaica, you know. Thing bad.
Bad.
Yeah, man, it's really bad. And Andrew Wallace, we just do the honorable thing and just resign, you know. Crab need to resign too, you know. Commissioner of Police need to resign. You understand? Them three main people right now as it relates to the uprising, you know, violence and murder in the society. Yeah, the Prime Minister for go like no. The Justice shit Minister for go like no. The Minister for National Security need to go. I'm asleep on the job long time. And the idiot Google too, so-called commissioner, he need to go. Richard Stewart, he need to go. Hey, it's a complete overall of the country will take place right now.
True.
That's why this party should never be in government. But we know what happened. Because I not blame my comrade people. We know to turn up, but we know what happened. We know what happened. We can't blame them for lack of want of trying to deliver the country in the hands of Mark Holding. Voter suppression and corruption. That's why Seaga when him Tadpole Green, him forget charge, you know. Him, all them people who are dead is at the hands of him, you know. Because me sure know if Mark Holding didn't administration and everything changed over, would I see a new Jamaica, a shine, would see Jamaica in a gloom with blood stain run all over and people in a mourning just after the election because the man them feed the people and cool them down, you know. But the handout done with now, people them gone back for hungry mode. So everybody a trial type of thing, yeah. And police involved too. Police involved. And we are talking about solid evidence, the police involved in a Linstead. No two ways about that. So we can't have that boy in the place, my Prime Minister. But back to the corruption side of things.
Yes, ma'am. This
just goes to show, say, yeah, whenever the Labour Party in control, this is what them do. Them steal the money out of the country, broke the country and hand it back to the PMP for build it back. I saw them at work, you know. And the mode of operandi where them carry out all the time. I saw them operate. And I just know it happen. Because if you look back, you know, 1995 PJ, PR for that, you know. PR for that, with debt free. And as Bruce and Andrew come in, yeah, them run go back at IMF. And in the same period when them run go at IMF, them miss 14 consecutive quarter. When I time them do them, I talk to IMF. When Mama P win, Mama P have to crawl upon her knee, go back and beg IMF. You can't, hey, it look bad in a man. You can't imagine the PMP and the Patterson clear off with that in 1995. But when the next PMP administration come in, I crawl upon the knee to go back to the same people where you pay off the debt.
But I tell you, my brother.
Then Jamaica people want anything clearer than this. This no need microscope to look on. No need telescope to look on either. It's a clear vision for everybody see. We are going under Andrew Wallace kleptocratic government. This guy is just a mafia in our place. We have to get rid of him. And him might use some tactics for upstir civil society. I go in some community and send in some guy in some uniform where him got Israel. He man Google Gaga. Go to Israel, you know. and go see Israel police not then you know with the same. You see, I call you see the Jamaica badge pan them so that it have the Israel logo thing pan the side, you know. And then bring it back, come our place. Militarize the whole place. Him and Google Gaga do that. And see we have see the result now. Right now, the police force now have a proper dress code. Me see all man in a denim blue ganzi. Short sleeve, denim, blue ganzi. Them uniform is inconsistent. It has no protocol to the dress code. So, what am I doing now is try to trick society. Use them policeman with them denim thing and then say a gunman. Gunman now have denim and vest. And people know police. And remember we soon have a balaclava all in a broad daylight, you know. That is not a dress code. And remember, when refrain from using body camera in a GSAF. No, body camera was something that was made, you know, compulsory. People that know that's system car. Remember, body camera, ordinary people can't get body camera. Body camera only sell to government for that particular purpose of security. Me and you can't wear a body camera, them not go sell with. So it would have shows that them are police. But because I don't want the citizen can, you know, identify the police them, him give them a denim. No, me see MPM man, you know, Metropolitan. Yeah. Parks and Market man them wear it. Garbage man wear the same blue denim. That is a common theme as it relates to that type of material. Anybody can get it. Go back to the original police outfit, the pinstripe with the red seam and the blue seam and the proper police hat. That hard to come by. But you see this guy when him Google Gaga, nasty, stinking, dirty Google Gaga, when him take from the army, take an army man bringing a civilian post. Member no say a whole heap of blood upon film shoulder. Blood upon Andrew shoulder. Blood upon the now commissioner shoulder. Because there are too many unsolved murder in our society since this one here come in, Google Gaga 2. Too much. Remember the first day I'm coming in, you know. Romaro Sterling, you know. Big thing that, you know. A massive amount of police and army personnel go murder the youth and kneel down with the man for the head. Nothing come out of that. When you look, you see some other murder from down in a Cherry Lane. Where the 18 people them get shot. I must say 9 they drop out of that. Nothing come out of that all now, you know. When you look all about the place that St. Thomas, we see police are murder youth, nothing come out of it. We see so much murder. Barbara, Gail murder, nothing come out of it. No. Murder now solving in Jamaica again. So we don't need these boys. We don't need the commissioner currently. We don't need the Minister of National Security. And we certainly need the Prime Minister because he can't run the country. It is plain and obvious to everybody say, Andrew cannot run the country. So we have to move these people. By all means, the society at large must demand that they must go. There's too many things that is negative in Jamaica right now. Crime, wages, all these type of things. Infrastructure, water. You can't imagine people are paying for all them house 1.9 million over 3 years and can't get it. That could not be under PMP government. That never happened under PMP government. Never. When PMP in charge, the place run good.
Exactly.
And it run clean and it run with transparency. Now with this bag of lie, PMP never create a radio station to tell lie for them. But what Andrew do, Andrew kill GIS and bring in Big Mama station. Because Big Mama and him affiliated, and Big Mama will put together a team with the same type of mechanism what we call lie and propaganda. Yeah, and them trick the Jamaican society. Tell pure lie. Them bring all a guy from PIOJ. Yeah, tell pure lie on the statistic. Now we see Andrew tell people self reporting homeless people. Yeah. Oh, Andrew for come tell me that now. Oh, Andrew for come tell me that. No. When Andrew say him cut poverty, I remember, you know, a hungry alone, you know, a poverty, you know. When you have a house because you're in a poverty state. Look how many people are asleep on the street side. Don't a Dead Man Mackenzie constituency all about the place, but more so Dead Man Mackenzie constituency. Downtown Kingston, the capital. It is renowned for homeless people. And right across the length and breadth of Jamaica, we have it. But here is Andrew Olusatel will say, you know, him cut poverty from 16% to 8%. What can go so? What can go so? But the same institution will give you all various type of statistic as it relates to even unemployment. We are here about crime. But if you don't do a census, you know, you can't talk to it, you know. And we know you suppress the murder rate figure every year because you want to merge it with Portia 1 because we beat you upon Portia number at all times so you can't get close. We see them put out something say 522 murder. Lie again. Because last year, you know, I mean, I stop talk that, you know, over 2,000 murder we have in the country. And Andrew half it. Just like when time the pandemic death, him half it to 3,000 and over 7,000 people dead. So we cannot have a prime minister will come out and lie at all costs. He's insulting people intelligence. That's what he's doing. And he has no moral about himself. Him is just a piece of rogue. He's a shit. Him is garbage. And I have always said, he's not prime minister material and he's not surplus to requirement. And I yield back the floor.
Wonderful punch, melting pot. Now let us hear from Lady Spinks. Lady Spinks, here you go, my sister.
Yeah, thank you, Uncle Vera. First of all, I would like to say condolences to that family that is in mourning right now. Family and friends that is mourning right now. That list that you just put out a while ago and shared with us out here. It never included the orchestrated sanitation. You remember that incident?
Yes.
It's another scandal too.
Look at
And Jamaica, most of us are sleeping. Your eyes are shut to what is happening. And to prove my point, when you look at the percentage of the voter turnout in the last election, it is less than what? A little bit more than what? 30 something percent? 39%?
Just put that 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40%. That's only about 40%. So therefore, 60% of the people who could vote in Jamaica did not even show any interest in what is happening in their country on a daily basis. It
Well,
is the
speak, well, let me just interject you. I show them suppress it why you see that number. More people that go out for vote. Them suppress the voting process as it is. The people them did galvanize and come out, man. But them suppress it.
All right.
Go back in your business.
we know that melting pot, but still, if more people come out, like even 60% it come out to vote on election day, the numbers would have changed because a lot of people not showing any interest in what is happening in their country that they live in. And that is my point. More of us need to show more interest because politics govern how you sleep, where you sleep, how your house look like, what your house look like, what kind of work you're employed into, what kind of schooling you get, what kind of education you get, what kind of training you get, what kind of job you qualify for. Politics govern also the type of food you eat. These people are spending so much money importing food and have done so much to discourage our local farmers by depriving them of the simplest fact of water. This government has done so much violation to our human rights, our rights to express ourselves, our rights to move around, our rights of association. This government has done us so much wrong and we sit comfortable. So many Jamaicans sit there comfortable, sleeping away year after year like a robot. You go to the corner shop, you go to the supermarket, you buy, you don't complain, you don't question anything. You don't question where the chicken back comes from. You don't question the import duties on the chicken back. You don't question where the onion comes from. You don't question where the garlic comes from. You don't question where the books that your children use come from. You don't question anything. You just accept it. Jamaicans, they need to wake up. Be aware. We are here every day, every week, trying to educate and inform you weekly on these programs, on these platforms to make you be aware. Have your eyes open. Be aware. In the diaspora right now, every time you send money to Jamaica, what is the rate are you paying to send this money? When you send a barrel to Jamaica, what is the shipping rate to come to for this barrel to reach Jamaica? When you send a vehicle to Jamaica, when you send a container to Jamaica, all of these things affect you whether you live in the country or not.
True.
And it's time the diaspora get up and realize when you pack a barrel and send it here or ship anything here, the import duties impact our economical stability here. The remittances, everything affects us here. If you're a Jamaican living here or living overseas, wake up. This is our island. We are trying to rescue our island from these pirates because every aspect of our life, even the price you pay for your underwear, is affected by this government. Everything has to do with politics. The price you pay for your shoes that you wear in your foot is affected by this government. Because when the shoes come to Jamaica, somebody has to pay the import duties on it. And that person has to sell it at a price that they can make a profit. Everything, the eggs that you eat in the morning, the bacon you eat in the morning, the bread you eat in the morning, the flour that you use to make your dumpling, the butter you put on the dumpling when you're eating dumpling and boiled dumpling and butter, the sardine you eat, the saltfish you eat that is imported in this country. What are the import duties on these things? Jamaica, the potatoes that you eat. What are the import duties? Who are importing these things? Who have the contract to eat the rice that you eat every Sunday with your rice and peas? Jamaicans, you need to be more aware. Even the tires that you put on your vehicles, the gas that goes into your vehicle, the amount of insurance that you pay for your vehicle. Jamaican, you have to be more awake because these people are robbing you blind and you see pain out of your pocket. And then you become like a hamster on a wheel, turning every day and not going anywhere in life. Because right now we have in Jamaica the haves and the haves not. There is no such thing as the middle class anymore. So when Andrew come out and talk about he is the baby father for this and how he has physical discipline, he's talking about himself, his family, and his friends and his cronies around him. It does not include us. His prosperity only includes himself, his friends, his families, and his cronies. And until the rest of us understand that when Andrew said that this economic is so good that it can yam, he's talking about himself because he's the only one getting fat off it. Look at Andrew right now. Look at Andrew right now. Look at George right now. Look at the children right now. They are comfortable. Their nest is feathered, well feathered, while ours is empty because some Jamaicans don't even have the first piece of grass right now to make a net. Look at what happened on Sunday. Those people paid their deposit 3 years ago. And what happened? They're using AI technology to give the people that yes, these houses are up for sale when only the model house has a roof. Deception, Hollywood tricks, all of these things. And I yield the floor to you, Uncle Byron.
All right. Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. Now, Jamaica, let us get a little bit more serious tonight. Because we see what we call political, what I call political victimization, and the evidence goes to show as it relates to what I'm talking about in terms of political victimization. But those political victimizers seems to have short memory. I am going to show them tonight why they appear to have short memory. Now, let us get into this, my people. Let us get into this. Now, look at this, my people. And we are going to speak here. Interdicted. SHRA suspend medical doctor for running in general election. Lawyers label move unconstitutional. But apart from the lawyer, right, respond to it. Sarah suspend medical doctor for running in general election. I never know that Sarah is so disciplined. Huh? Obedient. Those who are on the board. Let me just address it. For those who on the board who came to such decision. I never know that, you are so orderly. You're someone who, have discipline and moral compass. Oh, all of a sudden you find moral compass in making judgment. Now, let us read what we have here. A junior resident at Maple Hospital who contested the September 3 general election as a People's National Party candidate is scheduled to face disciplinary proceedings on Monday. The Southern Regional Health Authority, SARA, his employer alleges that he breached Public Service Staff Order 4.26, subsection 1. Hold on there, Sarah. Hold on there. Catch. Which prohibits public officers from engaging in partisan political activity. The staff order bars officers from engaging in party platform or any partisan political role in elections at any level. The SARA cites this clause in moving to interdict the doctor. Now let me just take this away because I see where I'm going. You like to spill the beans, them, you know. So let me just take this away. Now, all right. Those who are on the board who made this decision, let me remind you of your deeds and show you how hypocritical you are. Now, let us dig into it, my people. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the plain hypocrisy? Now, talk to them for me, Mr. Daz. Remind them of them corruption, please. And when you do, speak loudly and proudly.
But we do have evidence that this drill is only the tip of the iceberg of corruption within the Ministry of Health. In November last year, just before the drill was purchased by Seaga for the BUCHANAN Hospital for Children for $31,500,000, 2 drills of the same type, EM200, same manufacturer, same specifications, same model numbers, were brought in by one company, the company that won the bid to supply that $31 million drill. On their customs declaration forms, accompanied by an invoice from the manufacturer, we see that it was not a new drill. They were refurbished drills with a purchase price of $1,600 US. That was the declared value, and they paid $90,000 in customs fees, bringing the grand total, landed the same drill, model number, specifications, landed in Jamaica, cost nowhere close to $31 million, but 250,000 Jamaican dollars. We have the serial numbers for both drills.
All right, let me stop here there. I'm going to ask some questions before we go in our next two. I want to ask some questions. Some questions me ask. So, Seaga, for all the board members, one didn't see anything wrong with the purchasing of old drills, new surgical drills. One doesn't see nothing wrong with that. Or your moral compass gone, or your moral compass is selective. One doesn't see nothing wrong with that. Now, let me see if I say anything wrong with this. Now, let me see if I see if anything wrong with this. What am I going to show you now? Who won Meditech? All right. 18 degrees north investigation. Who owns Meditech? MP's trustee rule test Jamaica ownership disclosure law. Because you know, they go on like, you know, full of morals, you know. Why we are get back in them something, you know. And we got dash out everything now. We are dash out the baby out of the, we are dash out the baby and the bath water. The revelation that Kingston Central Member of Parliament Donovan Williams is the trustee shareholder of 40,000 of Medical Technologies Meditech Limited, 50,000 issued shares, has raised question over the real ownership of the company, which is at the center of a $31.5 million in bracket $200,151 neurosurgical drill controversy. The revelation came to light at May 20 press conference by opposition spokesperson and Dr. Alfred Dawes, who accused the firm of overcharging the Jamaica government for the drill made by U.S. manufacturer Medtronic, a claim over which he is now being sued. Mr. Andrew Holness now, they prepared Donovan Williams. They put him on some oversight committee in a parliament. Now, watch that today, you know. Today, I have seen that today, you know. And now watch the corruption and ring through parliament, you know. That also Juliet Holness sit on the chair of couple oversight committee in parliament too, you know. And where you have all these three persons, Donovan Williams, Juliet Holness, right? Andrew Holness, mix up and twine up in the government thing now. Donovan Williams, let me ask you a question. Meditech. Now, Sarah, you don't see anything wrong with this? And let me ask, the person who provide oversight for Sarah supposed to be the permanent secretary, right, for the Ministry of Health, Mr. Green, for procurement. You don't see nothing wrong with this. Those who are on Sarah board, you don't see anything wrong with this. Donovan Williams, let me ask you a question. Who you the hold them shares for? Who you the hold them shares for? Who own Meditech? Now, going at these people. Williams subsequently issued a statement claiming he was only trustee of the shares in his other capacity as an attorney. Only trustee? That means what? I know you own them then. And doesn't share in the company's profit. That means I know you own them. So you own them for somebody. You hold them for somebody. He said that following the resolution of a shareholder dispute in 2022, the arrangements were made to facilitate transfer of the shares to the real owner. So then Donovan, who are the real owner? May I get some rumor, may I get some information say the real owner is Craven A. But we could go down in our people who he didn't name. So as of July 7, 2025, he's still listed as the shareholder. So then how that? You don't hold shares for persons from 2022 as according to you. But in July 7, 2025, you're still listed as a shareholder. All right, we could go in there. The other two shareholders owning 5,000 shares each from the company's inception in 2007 are Athal Hamilton and Trudy and Ricketts. So why don't you call them a name here? And the person who owned the 40,000 shares, one no one called Fee name. But at the two who own 5,000 shares, name one call. You say, don't you know who frightened? Don't you know who frightened? Who are also listed as the company's directors. Neither Hamilton, Ricketts, nor Williams would answer questions about the company. We want to know who owned the company. The 40,000 shares. Why you the whole? Yeah, well, if you crave me, talk to me now. So, Sierra, the man them were on the board. Eh? The GLP member them were on Sierra board. Uno see nothing wrong with this. Uno come out on an interdict. Right? The PNP comrade through him run. So uno find problem with that. Uno find problem with that. Someone who can offer service to the country. Uno have a problem with that. And them a criminal, yeah. What have 40,000 shares, 5,000 shares, and the Donovan Williams that would shares for who? Crave near. Now they ask question, you know. Now, 2016, Meditech shareholder dispute in a 2016 lawsuit filed against Meditech and Williams in Jamaica court. Previously listed shareholder Winfield Boban, an American, claimed he had given Williams the 40,000 shares in 2009 to hold in trust. Now I want to watch a paper. See Boban here? Now, Boban, a former Medtronic regional manager directing sales in the Caribbean and Latin American between 1999 and 2005, declined to comment on the lawsuit outcome, and the court told 18 Degrees North the case is sealed. So then we wonder, are really Boban own them shares there? Let me ask a question. Or it is Craveney who own them shares there? Now, complicating matters is that Meditech and Williams secured an injunction to conceal the identity of a silent partner. People now hear this. Let me read it back over because I wonder if you know I missed this. Why? So Sarah, you know, see nothing wrong with this. The four all. So I don't want to classify them in. The four all dirty labor right. What upon Sierra board. You know, see nothing wrong with this. Complicating matters is that Meditech and Williams secured an injunction to conceal the identity of a silent partner who had provided financial backing. A Craveney provided backing there? I'm going to ask question, you know. According to the ruling that secured the injunction, Meditech had argued that it is on behalf of that person, known only as Person A or Craven A, in the court document that Williams owns the 40,000 shares. People not busy coming here now. The murkiness of Meditech ownership is precisely the kind of opacity the amendment to Jamaica Companies Act in 2003 were trying to eliminate. At the prodding of the Global Financial Watchdog Financial Action Task Force, these reforms were aimed at greater transparency around company ownership to help combat money laundering and terrorist financing. So then, we want to know who Meditech a laundering money for. Section 23A of the Companies Act now states, no company incorporated under this act shall have a nominee shareholder. And Section 172 1A states, no company incorporated under this act shall appoint a nominee director. Then, if that is the case, as it relates to Section 23A of the Companies Act, that now states, open quote, no company incorporated under this act shall have a nominee shareholder. And Section 172 1A states, no company incorporated under this act shall appoint a nominee director. Then, the question, Donovan Williams breach of this act. Come talk to me now, people. how Donovan Williams, right, after this act passed, so-called holding shares for person A or Craven A, while you, Donovan Williams, in breach of this, clearly state, Section 23A of the Companies Act now states, no company incorporated under this act shall have a nominee shareholder, and Section 172(1)A states no company incorporated under this act shall appoint a nominee director. Sarah, the four conspirators, the four, how should I put it, aiding and abetting criminality. There's nothing wrong with this. Let me talk to you now. Though these terms aren't defined in the Principal Act and they are now listed, penalties 18 degrees north, sent an email to an attorney from the company's office of Jamaica asking if an attorney saying they are a trustee for shares today, is it that prohibited as a result of the section, yes, of that act? No, or can you still be a trustee for the shares for a Jamaican company? Certainly not. Now, let us take this away. Now, Donovan Williams, you understand that you have to stay close by Andrew Holness, you know. So when you lost a seat, Andrew Holness have to do everything in his power, right? For make you retain that. Let me show you another thing here. Let me show you another thing. So I don't only Donovan Williams, what I tell the people them at Jamaica say, you know. I don't only in a Sarah. Yeah, they defend and I hold shares for people, you know. Which what we believe say Mr. A is the one of those shares. But I can show you which are you active again. Seems to protecting the wealth of the Prime Minister. Now look at this. Before becoming a member of Parliament in 2020, Donovan Williams may have been known to Prime Minister Andrew Holness for some time, even if just by association. After all, he's the brother of Mayor of Kingston, Delroy Williams at the time, who was also being a Jamaica Labour Party councillor in the Steve C. Wright Garden Division within Mr. Holness, West Central St. Andrew constituency for 2 decades. But in 2020, the relationship between MP Williams and Prime Minister Holness seems to have extended beyond politics. People, now listen now. That year, not only did the attorney become the secretary of the 3 companies registered in 2020 linked to the Prime Minister Holness, but he also became a director of Mr. Holness' Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited, where he served for a year. Delinquent and non-profit. Watch this. Despite having served as a director of both entities, businessman Mark as okay, let me just come out of that, right? And just click out of that right away. Now, let us get to here. Now, so then we put out all of that to show you how messy it is. But Sarah have not seen none of that situation to pursue that. But someone who take on a political journey to offer service, Sarah Board of problem with that and leave the corruption behind. So you left the corruption. You're not interested to deal with the corruption or looking at the corruption. But you've gone all the way now. Selectively now have your moral compass talking about roads being broken. Eh? Now I'm gonna put you in the melting pot for axe you down. Melting pot. Carry the axe.
I mean, have to ask them down because me just witness a member of staff from the NHS in a UK, yeah, put himself forward as a Labour candidate and successfully win him seat and is now a member of Parliament within the Labour government in a UK.
Exactly.
So a shit Shearer talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. And this guy, Donovan William, him name in a whole heap of controversy, you know. Whole heap of controversy. But let me just define it in a LCM, the least common multiple.
All right.
Yeah. Isn't it that Donovan William is affiliated to a party?
Well, on the melting pot, you have to do it in a HCF, the ice command factor.
Well, I never want to go there, so I want to break it down to the common people, all the street people. Them. Because enough of them, they're downtown, you know, in a film constituency.
Yes.
Yeah, and them me I talk to. The little man, them, the small man, them. Because them people that feel like them super talented with education and them are dunce. You understand? So me I talk to the common man now, LCM. Yeah. Donovan William is a member of parliament. Him run for a party. Him control Meditech. Then take out Craveny, a female we say affront it. So full stop period with that. Yeah? Exactly. But what them I do is a witch hunt, towards this gentleman here because him run for a PMP ticket. Exactly. If him did run for a GLP ticket, him good. Him good as gold.
Good as gold.
Him good as gold.
Not even gold.
But because him, but because him campaign for a People's National Party ticket, them have problem with that. Now, me want to make Sarah know, say, you say Jamaica, and a UNO own it, and a UNO run Jamaica. This phone sector wanna run, which is some very, very fictitious number. Yeah? We are come through now. We see a guy with a security company get a $3 billion contract. We see Dwayne Smith get a $2.5 billion contract for food and now feed the people. Them things they don't come talk about. Yeah? Because remember, you know, we have them there, you know. I don't can't dispute it, you know. We have the cable upon them, they can't dispute it. Talk about the $3 billion contract for security given to Metaphor or Metaverse, or where them want to name Kenny Benjamin Company.
Exactly.
Talk about Derek Smith's son, Dwayne Smith. We get the $2.2 million contract for food and now feed the people. And deal with this man here. Yeah? Because him can't come tell nobody say the 4,000 share where him a hold. And if him because him name the pan it and him afraid for call the 4,000 shareholder name. Him call some people only have 5,000 each.
Can you
Two person. Eh?
Can you
him
imagine?
go down at the LCM again, man. Least common multiple.
Yeah, that's at the LCM too. That's at the LCM.
Yeah, him go down there, so.
Left the
Him
LCM.
go back down at the LCM there, so. You understand? Yeah, at the same I deal with, so I have to talk to the people who are down there, so too.
You're right,
yeah?
You're right, my brother.
So, me want them people have to understand, say, this high level of corruption, yeah? Where them put before them duty, where the electorate duly elect them to do. It's becoming a problem now, yeah? Because people are reaping havoc out of this little island. And that's why I will call for me diaspora and them again, once again. What upon the money? What upon the money? Don't give to and this government. Sometimes a nation have to go through perilous time to
Tough
come
love.
out on the right side. Yeah, I'm sure no Jamaican people now suffer like the people in Gaza and the people in Ukraine and some other places. So you see that 3.2 to 4 billion in the US, we are reaching nasty government here. Please, my diasporan brothers and sisters, just take off 70%, please. We know we have some little old people down there. We have to look out for them. And maybe 1 and 2 kids where them parents in our state for them have go to school. And just that. Yeah, tell the adult them say you up now. Nobody now come that year, you know. And the holiday spending money, we are hold it back. Especially with the way Trump are going. And right now, them put in a new, you know, Home Office individual where she responsible for immigration now. Shabada Mahmood, and she run the UK thing, you know. And she's talking in reference about people in the UK who even have visa with the rights to remain. That she ought to deport them. So we're not safe in a foreign. Let me put it out there. We are get threat. Not only in the US, but also in the UK. So no hold on for no little money. Don't fuel this kleptocratic government. This government has been using the diaspora money to fuel the pocket and the wallets and the bank account and the sweetheart and the wife and the cronies. And we must put a stop to that. Because can a country be getting so much money? Yeah? And money that is given to the country every year, but we not see no development. The country now change for the better instead it a sink for the worse. So people can't get paid now in the country. Can you imagine truck driver who over $11 million? Yeah, but Andrew sit down for billions of dollars, man, his wife, size 13, and everybody else around them, wealthy till them as well. Eh? And the people who are work to build the country. Because them people are not work to build the country, you know. Them people are sit down and rob the country. Underperform. Every day them go work or rob them, don't work. If them would have work the country that show growth and progress, they would have know what to do to turn the economy around. They would have know what to do to bring investors to come and open up factories and things like that. So the youth them can get work in the country. All them know to do is bring in gun, drugs, and rob the money will come out of the country. We cannot have this government in office no more. And I mean, we might be sounding like a broken record, but we are continue to be like that around here.
Exactly.
We have to echo the voice and the sentiment that this government has to go. Because this government has involved in so many corruption. When I hear Andrew Willis come out and talk about them have 250 achievements, 250 corruption, them have a more. Not achievement, they're underachievers.
We play them out since 9.
So we know exactly what's going on with this government here. This government will only sink Jamaica further than where Titanic sank. So we have to be careful and be mindful of this government. I have never seen another administration that has so many corruption tied to it.
My goodness.
And we're talking about corruption of all description. From gun trafficking, drugs trafficking, thievery, murders that relate to state killing, so many unsolved murder. And we're talking of all description from little 9-year-old boy throat a cut, where them have all the mother, and she tell them blatantly say she not hand over her phone, And that's it because she linked to big boys. When you look, cocaine coming at the place, flood the place. We hear a guy say, I'm going to make arrest within 2 weeks time, people are going to charge. All know that 2 weeks they can't come. Because remember, the size of the cocaine and a small get to you thing, you know.
No, sir.
Get to you can't have so much US figure it. People them where sell them thing there, you know. A government and PSOJ business this. But these are the people we want to entrust with Jamaica. We can't do it. This government is a failure. And this government will cause human disaster in the country. Right now, we see that play out, you know. You can imagine Sunday evening is a blessed evening in Jamaica where everybody come together for 1 day out of the week as a family and, you know, have a meal called the day that when people try to put the best food on the table. Yeah? But from a blessed Sunday to a morning Monday morning, everybody are mourn up to the school where the little 4-year-old, a 10 and 11-year-old. From blessed Sunday to morning Monday, under this nasty kleptocratic government, who come and tell we, leading up to the general election, saying reduce crime to the lowest in 30 years.
Huh?
The economy is the strongest since 1962. And he's the father of fiscal discipline. And him have the DNA for that and a PNP. Him say unemployment down. But the 2 times where them have a KFC deal, we see thousands of people who supposed to be employed, you know, wake up from early morning. And just because of employment, you know, either, you know, them hungry as well for 2-piece chicken. So Andrew cannot talk to we. Andrew know who him can talk to. Andrew could never come around here and hold that level of discussion, you know. Because I know him I get pushed back till him weak. Him couldn't even walk me mouth around here so with them garbage there. So Andrew take political platform in Jamaica and tell pure lie and convince a certain section of people in a society, people who don't want to think about them future, nor them kids' future, people who don't want to be certain if them can wake up in our society with them life intact. Yeah, people who are fear live and I wonder if are them next. And that society them say Andrew create, you know. Just look since after the general election, what has happened with the crime as it relates to murder. So many people have lost their life after September the 3rd. It is unbelievable. And we are now facing a new crisis of unstable mentally ill people in Jamaica, where 633 of them calling for help. So no one tell me said Jamaica in a good state of frame. No, Jamaica is in crisis. And crisis of proportion. No, small crisis we can't fix overnight. A long-term crisis this. Because when you have a move from real firearm and place emphasis and attention for water gun, tell me say something wrong. Something fundamentally wrong with this government. Because me no mind if the bunny man come to rob me. Him take what him want from me and gone because water gun can't kill me. Me sure know me have my life. Me sure know me ready that. So if a tie gun, the man them a can't go around go rob. Make them carry the tie gun. Because the people them life will be intact. When you can't get back the loot, you can't get back your life. But this guy I play devil's advocate with society. And I come out with 15 years. Filico baby. With tie gun. See through water gun. You know, see this man lose him head. You know, see this man a lunatic. You know, see the world a laugh after this garbage prime minister where we have done here. All the time manufacturing company, them want to sue him. Them to sue him. Because what him a do? He might label them tie gun as real gun. Nowhere in the world the country no put 15 years on tie gun. Them no look on tie gun. Tie gun is something where you give to your youth and for them run up and down and develop them muscle. So we get a Usain Bolt, a Shelly and Fraser and a Saab, a Paul and everybody. Kids them have to be active. Oh, you get active, you have to start learn how to play and communicate and associate with other kids and grow up with the limbs them start to build by being active. And you want to take all that out of our society. Jamaica, get rid of this garbage. Once and for all, the cry is out tonight. This guy must go. The Minister of National Security, the sleeping crab must go. And the lunatic Gugu Gaga too, him to go. And we need to call back Gugu Gaga original. Him to get charged. Him to get charged. Him do a lot of wrong and run away. We need to call back Fitzbail. Him to get charged. Him do a lot of run away as well. And we need to move Richard Stewart because him a run a death squad alongside the JCF. And we can't go through a whole heap of related circumstances, you know. With the death squad carry out them nasty corrupted work. I want to frame some ghetto youth. So me I make Andrew Holness, the Commissioner of Police, sleeping crab, and Google too. Try to go look for a local youth in a Commodore, you know, and kill them off, you know. And so no find gang member, you know. Because police, the people them identify. As a matter of fact, them identify themselves as police. Remember, you know that, you know. Because you like the spin thing, you know. And go deal with people when I have nothing to do with what go on. You hear me? I tell you, no? And the world know it's police kill the people in a Commodore. Police. So when Christopher Phillips, yeah, the man in charge of year one, the superintendent, I come out and I chat about garbage. He need to go one side. When Google too, and Andrew Wallace and the whole entourage reach us up, I don't say we're supposed to have social intervention with the people in the community, you know. But the Prime Minister not supposed to do that. And you Google to and say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, PM. What is going on? But yet still not now, so we're going to go down at Cherry Lane now, we do the same thing last year. I know nobody no get arrested, nobody no charged. It not even mentioned. Because you can't look for no GSCF member. Because you know that was politically motivated and orchestrated. Because you go always going at the PMP here of them. Like you know want to mutinate the community. Because you have some agenda they want to play, you know, when you right to society, you know. And this is why we cannot keep this government in power anymore. This nasty government must go. Andrew Holness must be tried and put behind bars. There is several reasons to charge him. Several reasons. So I'm here tonight, you know. And my heart is weighing heavy. Because I've seen so many videos of my people in Jamaica mourning the loss of their loved one. And it hurt me to look at that little 4-year-old girl, innocent to anything that they're trying to spin, but she lose her life. Yeah, and here just now, another child lost them life. A 9-year-old got shot. I don't know if he died, succumbed to him injury. But this is what is happening. young woman being mutilated, her body parts and put into suitcase, dump on the roadside. What kind of society we have in Jamaica under this nasty government who come out and tell lie on crime and society? What type of society we have? It can't be. If the government was a good government, we would never be having these problems. These problems stem from when you have a corrupted, nasty, worthless government in office. And so, my fellow Jamaican brothers and sisters, the time has come when we have to take the baton in our hands and deliver the victory for everyone. I heel back the floor.
All right, them punch them from melting pot, uppercut, right? Over the head and on the chin and ribs broke up, melting pot that. Now, let us put in Lady Spinks to close us out for tonight's program. Lady Spinks, close us out. All right. Oh, sorry, Spinks.
Yeah. Thank you, Uncle Byron, for having me here tonight. I just want to make a few points to Sarah. Sarah obviously have selective memory, selective amnesia, selective dementia, and is issuing selective justice because we know that Comrade Dixon did not steal any of our taxes. Now, let me deal with his situation first. Now, we know of a similar situation that happened in Barbados, and the High Court ruled that it is unconstitutional because you are trampling on the person's rights of freedom, freedom of expression, and association, and this cannot be justified in a free and democratic society. So therefore, Sarah does not have any teeth or grip in whatever they are trying to institute on our beloved comrade Andre Dixon. And the other point I would like to make in regarding to Comrade Dixon's case, when he placed himself up as a candidate, was he hiding and campaigning?
Exactly.
So why wait until after election and he did not win the seat that this becomes an issue now? And from my point of view, my opinion, civil servants normally know beforehand that they are there to give a service to their country, and the fact that they are willing to be a servant to their country, I think civil servants are the best people, or should be the best people, or the best group of people to consider to go into further into politics and be of service to their country. So this rule needs to be either adjusted or altered or taken off the books because I don't see the purpose for this rule. No, Errol Green, Sarah, as my friend Melting Pot said, Guardsman Limited Security Company was given billions of dollars in contract. Where is your comment on that issue? All right. And let me talk about medtech now. We know that medtech is in Jamaica is actually a franchise of an international company that was founded from 1968. The JLP Member of Parliament there, Mr. Donovan Williams from Central Kingston, is the owner of the company because as Uncle Byron put out there, the amount of shares that he has is the majority holder of these shares. Now, medtech business is about providing medical equipment and EMR. EMR is electronic medical records. Because right across the world right now, most people want to have their information, medical information, to be on computerized. Now we look at this man called Donovan Williams, and he is the former councillor of the Civil Rights Division in Andrews constituency. And he became, in 2020, he became secretary for 3 different companies and the director of the Positive Jamaica Foundation, right? So his association with Andrew, and as we say, Andrew is the possibility, the person who is craving it. And I yield the floor to you, Uncle Byron.
All right. So here we have it, right? My people. So there's where we end it for tonight's program, right? So of course, catch us Thursday on the Titans, right? And of course, Thursday morning, Mystic Sensation in the afternoon. Thursday, right, in the evening, Titan, right? We'll be there. So, all right, make sure, you show up and support. All right. So we want to say big thanks, right? And thanks for passing through, right? Continue to support the Mystic Sensation. We definitely appreciate that. Lady Spinks, thank you for always being there, right? Melting Pot, right? You guys, fully committed. Really appreciate that, right? Wonderful, right? Punches. And as always, right? Never disappoint, right? Both panelists, right? Tough when it comes to that, right? Breaking down, right? Subject line and, deliver as usual. Want to say a big thanks to them. All right. So there you have it, my people, right? See you Thursday afternoon, and of course, Thursday on the Titan. Bless up all. Bigness. All right. Melting Pot, Spinks.
Blessings.
Out. All right, cool.
I know why you come to me with that foolishness, You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right stand that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.